Game audio. 3, 2, 1, go. I can't focus on the game. Tell me if the audio is too loud or too low. I didn't realize I took so long here. I was trying to find a good song. Most of this run, I'm just looking for a song to put on. We went a bit late as fuck. Yeah. I've had amazing runs today as well. I was minus 40 going into Forest, and Forest itself has like 40 total to save. Yeah, that was a good run. So it could have been amazing running into Shell 2, but I paused late when dropping bugs to skip the Poe cutscene so I can get into the elevator. And normally you have 2 frames to swipe the bugs, but when you pause late like that, there's not have 1 frame. There's not much to commentate on this part. It's just standard movement here for the carry. He's getting rupees for the shield and grabbing the sword on the way. Lower VOD? Okay. 85%. Let me know if I should lower it more.
28 months. Insane. I love Axel FR Axel Chad.
Yo, thanks for 28 months, Vanilla. Appreciate it, man. Alright, doing some sick. This movement here is called Rose Rock. Because the guy who found it, his name is Rosewater, and you target a rock. I think that's the lore. I did some really... the fastest movement, basically. For grabbing sword and buying shield. It's what they used to do in 90%. Why the fuck is my B button all mushy? It's like getting stuck. Dude, I'm mentioning it at the start of the run. Later on, that's gonna show up to be a real problem. Foreshadowing. Play on CRT. It's that giant thing in the corner. What the fuck? That was weird. Good start though. That's 3 frame perfect throughout that entire escape segment. There's the bridge clip, there's jump slashing off the rock, or like the block platform thing after the shop. Well, I'm not gonna be able to stream from the new place until probably later. And then just clipping the kid at the end there, that A press, because needs to be perfect. There's some stuff I wanna first get checked with the inspection guy. I'm referring to the house. Not get checked, but rather solutions to like issues. And then I want to repaint some walls. Yep. So there's some stuff that I want to do before moving in furniture, because that's just going to be in the way. Yeah, no, all that. There's no mold. Jesus. It's just the shower drain is like installed at a slight angle, which is not good. Yeah, there's no problem with it. It's just a potential issue. Explain cutscene. There's nothing happening in the cutscene. Renovating the bathroom. But here, there is stuff happening. I slashed a wall. Might be something I do. And I have 2 frame window to press target and hold ESS, which is basically just holding your stick right outside the dead zone. So basically the very first value that
there's
the game
rules
registers.
here. The sellers, you get like a inspection protocol with all the flaws, and it's like
It's hard to talk when...
it's a separate company
not
from
shutting the
the
fuck up.
brokers, whatever they're called.
But yeah, we do that to skip the owl.
So they're like
Talking to the
not
owl
affiliated.
stops
and they're
time of
kinda
day. We don't want
shady
that.
business going
We
on.
want the day of time. The time of
And then
day
there's
keep
also
going.
a buyer's responsibility to do the inspection before buying and all that, which is why I've been like in calls with the guy. And I have like a buyer's.
You know, I do have just the raw
I don't know what
gameplay.
it's called in English, but
And I could-
basically, if there's
I could
a
layer it
flaw
so
that's
that
found,
I mute
that the
myself.
inspection guy missed,
But I don't know if you want to hear
they'll pay
past
for
me.
the costs. Like a guarantee thing.
Lower Vodmore? Okay. I'll try 65. 64. I couldn't get it to 65. One of those awkward sliders where it's just skipping a value.
But like just to put in perspective, rent here I've seen go for like, you know, 1K a month. And my monthly estimated bill will be like 1.2K. Except I'm actually getting a whole house.
Don't worry,
going
once we
back
get to
here.
the later parts, I'll be a lot more quiet, especially like into Ice Cavern. That's
and that's
when I
estimated on 5 people, because
have to focus and can't talk casually while doing this.
there's a couple with 3 kids. So it might be less for me. Depends how much my computer runs.
Yeah, it's just standard child one talking about nonsense. Anything spicy?
Rent here is
Maybe
1.2K. Right, like
hang out
it's
and
kind of
find around.
similar here. So the rents are the same, or like the monthly costs. It's just having enough saved up to actually make the buy, and you don't have a buffer. That's what's like next to impossible. So if you can live home with your parents, definitely do that.
Oh yeah, I should explain what happened there. That's called Navi Dive. All we do is just jump slash land close to the ledge. Because after a jump slash, Link always takes a step back. So if we press or Navi during that, he'll take the step back and just phase through the water. Because Link can't swim or like interact with the water when you're talking to Navi. And here's another type of dive, but this one uses the ocarina. Because I set up this hover coming up here so that I'm almost on the ground, but not really. So if I hold down, I snap back to the ground. It's like being in between, above the hole, but also above the floor.
Ah, slow Wes.
And if you press ocarina on the correct frame perfect,
Weird angle.
you do essentially the same thing as the Navi Dive, except just with ocarina. And then I just do a west crouch stab because the water in this game extends infinitely downwards. So even though these are just puddles in the well, we can use them to swim under the map.
Really?
That sucks.
I guess I wasn't holding up.
Yeah, that's painful.
It's kind of hard when the camera's up like that.
So a lot of people ask why I wait
Glad
here.
it wasn't closing.
It's because Dead Hand is actually immune when Dead Hand start walking away from you. So right before Dead Hand
Gonna
digs,
lift it again. Oh no!
the hitbox actually becomes
You're gonna
active.
block me again? No, good.
So I pretty much time it. It's not that precise, but it happens that you miss it. And here's a very tricky trick. Depending on when you drop, so just 2 frames to drop, because you can back it up. The regrab
the space.
is frame perfect. But there is back. It's like hard to explain because there's so many different scenarios. The sculpture can act like 3 different ways, and depending how it acts, you have to change your timing. And then depending on when you drop, you also have to adjust how you regrab, if you're gonna target during the regrab or not. There's only one room that I'm not sure what I'm gonna have in it yet, but there's one room I'm planning to have as a workshop / hobby room, because I want to like. And then the jump slash into the cage room there is intentional, because I need to store that damage since I used slash on the other Skulltula, and
craft my own stuff.
I need a jump slash stored when I crash out the chest for ISG, since I need to kill this gold Skulltula on the first hit. Otherwise I'm just kind of tickling it. And I do a cool setup here. Yeah. Here, I target the sign because for whatever reason, if you target something, you can't speak to the owl.
Scary.
You can see him right there up on the tree. And here's, oh god, there's so much to explain.
Weird angle, but that's
we have to look away from the bridge before it turns night, because when it turns night it starts moving up, but if I'm not looking at it, it's not like loading. So like the chains stay down, but the moment I get on the chain, I let go of the camera, it zooms out, it loads the chains and realizes, oh shit, I'm supposed to be, you know, up all the way up by the bridge. And so it like snaps back up there and just brings Link with it. It happens in a frame, so it looks like I'm teleporting, but I don't know how else to explain it. That's just how it works. That's why it's important to make it with some room. You can't just make it before nighttime. It has to be like enough time to skip the owl and turn around. Dude, I don't know why my B button is getting stuck. Is it sweat? What is it? Dude, I have that fixed now, fortunately. But man, the amount of foreshadowing. So here, there's a lot going on. Health management is one thing. I'm very cautious of how much health I have because I need to set up for Lullaby Skip later on. So taking damage from the Skulltula there is intentional. And what I do in the tree is called Reverse Bottle Adventure, or just RBA for short. And that, in this case, it gave me a bottle in slot 3. You'll see when I pause here to equip the egg that there's a bottle in my 3rd slot and also in my 1st. But essentially, when your bottle is on the B button, it looks at whatever's in C, right, which is a bottle, and catching bugs on B. And then it looks at what's in bottle, which points to slot 3. It put bugs in slot 3. And the explosion thing is because to set it up, basically you need your last input to be B press. Because the way bottles work is when you swipe, the game checks, okay, what button did he click?
Wiggle
And
right
it's like,
there, if you
okay, he pressed bottle C right to swipe. And
But
so it
I
puts
do it in
whatever
a
you
way so
swipe
that
on C right. So if I make the game think that I pressed
I should
B,
never
it's gonna swipe over the B button, because that's what I pressed. And to do that, I basically use the explosion to press B, so Link pulls out his sword, but then explosion hits the shield, so Link doesn't pull out the sword, it gets cancelled, but the game remembers that I pressed B, but I still have the bottle in my hand. So then I can just hold the bottle button, which is C down, or C right in that case.
Alright, come on.
Shield and
guards,
target,
guards.
and then I just let go of shield, and he just automatically swipes. Because I can press the any button while I'm shielding, because the game doesn't count those presses. Not sure if that made a lot of sense. But the goal is to press B
Scary.
while the bottle is in Link's hand. And here, it's kind of funny. The guards work in a weird way. Essentially, if I just do frame perfect side hops, it doesn't matter if they see me, as long as I don't miss any. So if I spend more than a frame on the ground, they'll blow the whistle. Because the last guard there actually does catch you since you're jumping right behind him, but I just don't let them give them a chance to whistle the or blow the whistle. I think the reason why is it's something related to link speed. I have to look into that so I can give like a proper reason why. And one thing that's really draining is just mashing text. Like, I don't mind playing for over 6 hours, but when you're watching these, like this cutscene over and over and over, and then the Master Sword one, it's a lot of text. Yeah. Dude, I was getting fatigue in my... I don't think my mashing was very good. But no, the house thing was like, it wasn't meant as a flex. It's hard to like want to say stuff you're proud over without having it come off as a flex. I didn't think I'd be able to get one either. True. I'm just looking down. I'm not even looking at anything in particular. I'm just, whenever I do that, I just tend to. But I'm really proud zone out that I managed. It's not that I'm looking at the controller, so fucked, making sure I don't miss my mashes. It's just there's so much to learn and figure out that I don't understand. Like electrical bills, I want to know like in detail exactly how much everything is drawing so I can optimize. Yeah. And then I gotta know like what types of walls they are, if they're bearing walls, if I can drill in them. Yeah. It might be that I don't want to look at it. Could I don't know what's looking at anything else is files I should get helps a lot. Especially like looking at chat. There's a bunch of different to pick from. That's why it's usually a lot easier to stream for long when chat's active, because it makes me die less inside watching all these cutscenes. So I used to back walk there, but now I side up because it actually saves single floor, half a second. It's and like I find it more consistent than for me to live. Flicking back walk angle. Like it's a really good size for 2 people. Which is why they actually had to move the cellars, because they had pumped out 3 kids by the time they got here. I don't know how they managed to live there. There's way too many for that. So that's just called Door of Time Skip. It's pretty hard. It's 2 frame perfect inputs. First side roll, and then you hold down, press A on a certain frame, which is just a backwards side hop. And then, but I don't function. I think it's 3 frames later, you press jump slash to get back in bounds, but at that point you're already clipping the wall. I'm gonna like buy something. There's just a small, tiny gap that the devs misalign the Door of Time with. Yeah, like
it's usually when I have to buy something, I always make like a ton of research and like.
But yeah, it's a hard trick.
Say if I'm
for
buying
sure.
like a computer part, I'm doing like a bunch of review checks, having to learn like.
And earlier, the lullaby thing,
bunch
it's
of
just
stuff
I die
over
while
the
entering the
years.
cutscene. I forgot about that.
Every time I upgrade my PC, I have to relearn,
But yeah, as long as you enter the cutscene,
especially the PSU and like.
you get
fuck ton of
the
cables.
songs. That I just forgot to explain the lullaby thing. It was just so natural to me. It wasn't like anything special.
Your mom had 6 siblings in a small hut in the old country. They all shared one room.
You watch live from France. Yo, Fionensois. I'm sure I mispronounced
Does
that.
not sound fun.
I'm wearing French shirt.
Are you asking if the house is a fixer-upper? Pretty much every house that's built in the 70s or 80s. The one I got is in the 80s, but the roofed house, which is Tegel, I think that's cement.
Tail.
They have like a technical lifespan of 50 years. So they're due. It's not like it needs to be done, but you would 100% increase the value by a fuck ton. Especially if you want like sun panels, like solar panels, shit. Like everyone here has that now. But you can't just place that on old roof. That's such a dumb idea.
Since I'm rewatching this, I'm gonna pull up a notepad and make notes if something comes across.
House was built in 1910. Dude, I saw a house that was built in the 1800s up for sale. That's crazy.
It is single floor, yes. So it's perfect size for one person, but it can be 2 people too. But it should be a lot easier for me to manage on my own. Or if I get a maid. But I don't want to pay for that. Really strong Axel 2. Too bad that towards the cemetery it's luck. Yeah, the graveyard.
44.
Damp Abyss.
Isn't that when you guys discovered America? Holy shit. Columbus built that house himself.
We can beat this time. I have to get lucky though, but I'm confident with the skill. This run was the dream up to a certain point. You'll know when.
Dude, I was checking out of curiosity like the housing market in like the US for West Coast, and it was like some dog shit piece of grass next to a giant road.
It looked like the houses in market
like-
there, like all destroyed.
300,000 bucks.
Alright, anyway. That's called a
Not even
hyper
anything
extended
there,
super
it's just-
slide.
It's just that plot alone.
You roll into an explosion, and hold ESS, which is when Link is just standing still but rotating. Basically the smallest amount of
And then I
input
saw
you
a
can do.
house that was like 400k, and they had like plywood walls.
And for the most part, it's two
It's
frames, two frame window.
They didn't even clean when they took the pictures. Like, they're not even trying to get it sold.
But it depends
It's
on
a flex.
distance and timing. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But generally, I consider it to be one of the hardest tricks in the whole game to get good at. It took me many years. So the whole point of that was just we have to talk to Anju to get the trade item. It has nothing to do with the
Yeah,
trade
sure.
quest.
Where I was checking was West Coast.
We're gonna
near
use it to
New
get some
Jersey.
stuff early on, which you'll see in a bit. And for that, we're gonna
Jersey.
have to get a Poe, which is what I do here. I set up a trick where I recoil off the grave, so that when I speak to the Poe, I'm also loading into Dampo's graveyard or grave, and that saves like a
House
second
cost
or two.
here.
You just have to be sure that you get the yes option before you load out. So that's
like
what the extra bottle
900k,
from
you get
earlier
like
was
a
for when we duped that in
Essentially
Child 1.
mansion.
It's a fun little
But
fast thing you can do there where you try and climb, but
Like
the
400K.
game cancels it because there's a
it's also super fancy.
it's at an angle, the
Goes to the
wall,
beach
so it
and all
can't
that.
actually let Link climb there. So you kind of like pop up, and then if you jump slash, you can make it
I got
onto the
mine
ledge.
for under 300k.
But yeah, the Dampus flames are random.
And for the equivalent amount,
It's random when he drops in
elsewhere,
and
I've seen like really bad,
how they're dropped, because they kind of drift in the air.
really shitty houses.
They don't
that
just
need a
fall
lot of work.
straight down. I wish that would have been nice. So here's a cool thing you can do. I do a nice setup here where I use the door to crush myself, and that way I don't get any entrance speed here. If you don't do that and just void out, Link will run forward, and then you have to run backwards to the exit, which loses a full second. So here's a cool thing. I make sure I draw a hook shot and I bonk into the fence, and then I get this weird idle
50.
state.
Oh god.
And after 3 of those idle animations, I'm able to shoot the fence, and on the same frame that the hookshot hits the fence, the idle animation cancels, which makes Link fly up in the air. That's called a hookshot jump. And get ISG off that Poe just to make it fast to clear the seam walk there. Without ISG, you would fall off for sure trying to go that fast. When you have Infinite Sword Glitch, you aren't able to fall off ledges. Because if you've ever tried to
Yeah,
play this
for
game and you slash near a ledge, Link doesn't fall off. So it's a very nice, convenient trait of ISG. Which is also why you stick in the air when you hover. So here, same thing as with the Child 1 corner. Gotta time the jump slash. Yo Eric, thanks for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. We're watching the world record from 2 days ago.
This one's actually good.
Hope you had good runs. So here I just drop a chew, slash it, I
Which
take
means-
damage, and then I suddenly take damage after the hover boots. And that happens because Link's iframes, he's immune when he's immune.
We should have a donut goal. for,
That
like,
timer
a-
runs out
a 6 stole that I can have sitting behind me.
during that animation.
And we can
But
pretend
the
it's-
explosion is still there because the explosion
Chat's
freezes
frozen.
when Link opens.
You guys will have to pay for it.
So I'm able to, that's called just buffering damage essentially.
Only like as a joke. Yeah.
And so again, health management is super important. It's all strategically planned out, like way ahead of time, depending how much damage you take from the damper rays, and if you take a hit from the Poe, whatnot. Oh my god, there's even more. Holy shit. Okay, so right now I'm just rolling up and down the stairs to reload the graveyard 17 times, and that unloads the Royal Tomb grave, which makes it so I don't have to play Lullaby to watch the cutscene like you're meant to. But before that, I did a thing with the chew and the torch. That was just RBA again, but I did it over Poe and over Egg.
I guess imagining actually using it,
and the Poe on C right points to my bomb chew count, and bugs have value 29, so it gave me 29 bomb chews. The Egg gave me something important that I forgot. I think it's scale, maybe. I'm not sure.
If I had one, I would just never like make it dirty at least.
Two Ice Cavern Void Outs? Dang. So yeah, if you just keep side hopping there, the Redeads don't scream. If you start sidewalking for a little bit, they will. So that's why I tend to mash for my life. Which normally you don't want to mash your side hops. It's better to time them.
Always civil.
Here's a cool setup that I think I messed up. Yeah.
Good.
Oh, no, never mind. The Hess is a little tricky. Doesn't say much at all. It's like 2 seconds.
Sub 340 possible with this. Not with this route.
So here we just have the Poe hit us while we're pulling the grave. Gives us control over Link faster. And we have to do the race one more time because there's 2 rewards from it. First is hookshot, and then second, if you're under a minute, you get a heart piece.
I could definitely see it happening.
And I actually learned something new about this recently. Damp is faster in the second race.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it, but now that I pay attention to it, you can see that he's actually like moving a lot quicker than first race. There's like a speed modifier when I was looking at the code. So here I pull a bomb chew and target that Song of Time block because the wall in front of me there is not the same angle. They might look like it and you'd expect them to be, but they're not. And then I have to do 2 ESS turns and then not touch anything. And if I do that before the chew blows up, I clip through it. But it's a very tight window to get in position and get the right angle.
Dude, people are such like dickheads.
Real.
When it comes to like putting in their work and like making discoveries.
Yeah, like a lot of stuff. Well, pretty much everything I did. Like that setup with the Song
Like, I
Time
got
block
told
I
that
did
I'm
as well.
lazy and never look up strats or anything.
This is
like
just
that.
where I have
And
some
I'm just
venting going on.
like, you haven't watched my stream.
True. Tell him.
I'm the one
Let
making
them
all
know.
the discoveries for this category.
True.
Past 2 years.
True. Man, this guy's so relatable. Who's making all these new strats that you hear other owners talk about? I've become really good with the practice run because of it. I've made discoveries that weren't known before. Like actual interesting technical stuff. Yeah, he's taking stuff from me. Which is like, there's nothing wrong with. He never wants to admit that it's my strat though. He was like, actually, I made it better. And then it's like way worse. True. Tell him.
Like, no, my strat is not inconsistent. You're the one who's inconsistent with it. No, he won't admit that he's using my strats.
So just more
He always
Hesses
tries
here.
to make it his own.
Again, health management going on. I'm setting up for another hookshot jump, which is gonna require me to die. So I want half a heart for it. And that's kind of a risky thing, because I usually have a full heart there, and then I take damage from that explosion. But for that part, I only had half a heart, and if you do it right when you're going up against the wall, you're able to get the invincibility of being in the cutscene, but not take damage from the explosion. So basically the explosion initiates the cutscene before it touches you,
Oh, there's no drama.
because the wall blows up on frame 1.
It's just, you don't really get the recognition when no one says where they got the strats. They just say, oh nice, this new strat is so good. And they just get told that you're lazy instead and never put in the work.
So that hookshot jump there is also frame perfect.
But
It's kind of an
it's always
easy
gonna
frame
be toxic
perfect. It's weird to
stuff
explain, but
for people in
some timings are
streaming
very like
communities.
visually easy, more so than others. So that shoe drop there is actually for later. You won't see me make use of that until 2 hours later, but it's important. Got a nice damage boost from the fire keys
Congrats
there.
King on world record. Are you gonna upload this VOD with commentary? Would love to watch it down later when I can focus on it. Axel focus.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Here's just some standard movement. You can shoot a Sculpture on the vines and then do a nice side hop down to the stairs. It's kind of scary. I've lost a lot of runs just by jumping off the ledge there. This is one of the quote-unquote newer discoveries, which isn't new at all. It's like over 2 years old, but essentially it was discovered that you can get access of Link and not have to watch the mouth animation opening of that giant Dodongo head. And what's happening is when you hit an eye that you've already hit,
I have a really
it gives
bad
you an
grip
error
on
sound.
That was sketchy.
Alright. And so when you get the error sound, it still shows you that like, hey, you did wrong. And then it gives you, and then it like jumps back to Link's camera. So you do that, and the game thinks, hey, you did wrong, and it shows you. But then you actually do hit it.
Well,
And then it snaps back to Link. And then it's playing the cutscene that you just like blocked out. And so you get back access of Link, and you don't have to watch the mouth opening. We used to bomb the eyes or chew the eyes before the hookshot jump, but that's why we do it after now. It's just so we can move during the cutscene.
if I have 1 second, it's so bad, but
There's some more RBA to refill chews, and also Setting up for a trick later on for nut dupe.
Oh, made it. Holy fuck, that was tight.
So that run almost died.
It was
it was
like 2 or 1 frame away from.
yeah, it was super close to killing the run there because I only had 2 seconds. During the first backflip there, I press Ocarina midair, and if you press Ocarina or any trade item, the timer stops. You also kind of get stuck. You lose all control of Link, so he'll just go in whatever trajectory you sent him in. But stalling the timer gives you just enough time for that setup. Usually we have 4 seconds, but because the fire keys hit me in the Donga's Cavern, I had a quarter heart
to make that if you have 1 second on the timer.
Yeah, I did. It's hard.
It's really tight to make though.
But yeah, a lot of close run killers during this run.
You're talking about the up warp? Yeah, like I said that it was cartridge tilt because I had heard it from somewhere. But it still gets brought up in videos when like talking about like I know what's his face? Veritasium? He made a video on like randomness and brought that one up.
Not much happening here. We're just getting
Apparently it all just
magic.
derived from like one article.
Yo, Parkway,
I
thanks
just-
for a sub to Corn Dog the Hosier. Appreciate it. So,
Made
play
everyone
Sunsong
believe that.
next to the Gossip Stone. We need it to be nighttime for the Skulltulas, so it works out.
The Cosmic Ray idea is a lot cooler though.
Doing a quick spin here, we can grab that through the rock with a backflip, and then we chew off the rock. Hess.
We can just pretend that's what happened.
We're kind of on a tight, not tight, but we're on a very important day-night cycle. So you have to make sure that you're fast in the section where time of day moves. And again, health management going on. I always make sure I have at least 2 hearts here. Can do a mega flip here to skip this kid. And pretty precise Skulltula here. But I have a good strat for it, so it's usually not a problem. And here's some strange stuff happening. So we're gonna get the nut upgrade because the one in the back is selling it, but by doing a glitch here called return A, if I shield, target, and see up on the same frame, I get put in this weird state where I can't accept stuff from them. And so I pop both of them out of the ground, talk to the one in the back and then the one on my left, and then I cancel that glitch, and they're basically the reward zones are overlapped, and so it'll prioritize whichever one you pop first, which is the one in the back, which is nut upgrade. So first Link holds nothing, but it's actually nut upgrade, and then he holds the actual nut upgrade, which is the source one.
It is quite demanding.
And that's how that counts as a source for the requirements. Because we're actually just glitching the one on the left, which is fine. You can get the mid upgrades however you want. It doesn't matter, since the max upgrade will overwrite. Here there's another glitch called, I think it's down A or turn A. It might be down A actually. Yeah,
That's actually a really good split.
weird going on
This
there.
one is popping.
I put an explosion in front of the ladder,
I am listening to music.
which
It's
for one frame puts Link
Come
on the
As You
ladder,
Are
but then
by
cancels it.
Nirvana.
But the game
It's
still
just
thinks I'm
Spotify's
on the
rock
ladder,
classics
which
playlist.
puts me in a weird state where I can climb really steep slopes. And that's why I do it, is just get up on that slope, clip out of bounds, side up, hit the load trigger for Minuet cutscene, because that trigger is huge. It expands way past the area.
Casual confirmed.
And we hit it, and then we void
when
out.
asking a question
So I just
in the
unlocked
OT
Minuet
Discord.
there.
and you get answered by someone who, first of all, doesn't even answer your question
I'm still venting about.
and like explains something that I already know, like I'm a toddler. Like,
Here's where the health management was for. We're just here to clear the
This is-
Skulltulus.
you really gotta time when you question in the OT Discord, so you get the people who are actually
And you can see the moon in the back.
knowledgeable and awake.
It's close to turning morning. And the whole goal is to make it to Source Domain before it does. Otherwise, just play Sun Song, which loses 10 seconds. Press the no option on the do you want to
This is
save
funny.
and then continue. Because it saves. If you do it perfectly, it's like half a second. Can do a nice waterfall skip there. It's not too hard, but I have failed it before and killed runs to it. That roll there is only to make it nicer for me to get the Hess, because it's actually kind of a tight turn. Hope that wasn't too late. And here's something strange happening. By keeping King Zora off camera, basically unloaded, and then loading him only when I'm having text on the screen. So in that case, you saw how I talked, or I read the sign, and as I read the sign, the camera started panning. That loads in King Zora with the text on screen, and that sets the flag for him to be on Frozen, which gives us Zora Tunic.
Like, I remember when I got told that there's
It's very odd, but I should probably look into why that
there's no
happens.
difference between the pause buffers if you're on the practice ROM or
I don't know
in the
how
game.
it works. I just know like why it works, or the
Over
other way.
10,000 hours in this game, okay?
I don't know
I
why
can
it
tell
works,
the
but I know
difference
how to make it work. You can use a
between the
trade item
pause
too,
times.
super easy. Just backwalk, pull out a trade item, and it's free if you want to do it in a casual playthrough. But yeah, we don't have that equipped, and we don't want to pause for it, so using the sign is the fastest way. Just another Hess there, pull bomb during the Hess to blow up the wall. And we're getting for his wind. This is where the run really picks up. Yo, an elements. Thank you, thank you. I used trade item when I was starting out, yeah.
Yo, Alk. Thanks. Yeah, this is where it gets
I used it for a
hard, though.
while, honestly. I'm not sure, design patent, no clue. I'm able to base that number off how many hours I've streamed this game, which doesn't include all the off-stream time I've spent on it. But I'm not sure how to check others.
Probably set up for this one.
So here, very annoying trick. It matters what angle you have. It has to be perfectly down. So I do a shield turn. Then we pull a bomb, and it's not a weird shot. It's a weird clip. It's actually a late input. So it's like an intentionally failed weird shot, which is really awkward because it's the first one in the run. So you don't really have a reference for the timing. But yeah, you just have to delay your inputs. It's actually one of the hardest parts of the whole split, so getting that feels good first try. Do a mega flip down to the heart here. I was meant to land on it, but I had a bad angle.
All good.
The sword pull there is just for jump slashing up the ledge here if I have to. Which I should have done there.
It's fine.
But I thought I could skip it because it is faster if you don't do the jump slash. So here, I get in position fast for the freeze spawns, and they're hookshotable, thankfully, so you can use that to clip the wall there. Then I load the next area. Pull a bomb here. It's important that I start the Hess here because I need the angle of that ledge to perfectly clip there. When you turn with Hesses, it always turns the same amount every frame. So you can set up stuff for that happening. And there I place a bomb, because bombs actually do have collision and push link. And by placing a bomb there, I can side up over it and keep me in place. Just enough to the left where I crouch stab to the right nudges me into the heart piece and grabs it through the ice. And then I start a Hess, put on hover boots, clip one of the corners, and then there's another corner here, clip that corner. And then I try to make it to the ledge up here, which is the hardest part of the Hess. Can jump slash through the red ice there to grab that silver rupee. And then some tricky movement here. Can do a gainer to get up on that tiny pillar. The keys here are random, so sometimes they're really annoying to deal with, sometimes they're really nice.
Hey, stop messing around.
Most of the time they're annoying though.
Damn it. It is really hard.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay, that's... yeah. That's something you have to be ready for. Basically the hook shot, it moves the same amount every frame, right? And so if the next frame is hitting the wall, it'll do that instead of hitting the Skulltula. And it's precise, but since we always grab the Skulltulas from the same spot,
it wasn't even that bad.
you can sort of know where it will happen. And I know that on the right side of the pillar, if I shoot from there, it's gonna hit the wall.
Oh boy.
So yeah, it is predictable.
Good. That was terrifying.
This part is terrifying because we buffer the damage by using Ocarina to basically reset our iframes to 0. And then the explosion will just stay frozen. It has 10 frames total, so the max hearts you can lower is 5 full hearts, since it's half a heart per explosion hit.
New ROM hack, Ultimate Trial.
And
there's like a bunch of ROM hacks
on the last one,
that I'm saving. I'm planning to do a bunch
I
of
have
casual
one
stuff
frame
after
and I can't
TV
buffer
for
it.
record.
And so I press both A and
bring
pause
myself to take
to give myself a
break
bigger chance. And that time it paused.
when I'm like peaking.
But yeah, it's very scary.
Playing better than ever.
That's usually a deciding factor if the run is going to go to Child 2 or not. Sort of like if you get past that part, you have a very high chance. Otherwise you just die and you have to run all the way back. It loses a minute. Here's a fun setup. We do a mega side hop with hover boots, which is funky. A lot of stuff happening there.
Neato.
We unequip the boots, which sends us back, and then
Oh,
we put them back on.
Switch thing, the tech skip for the
And that clips us into the ice.
I got that from
How it works, I'm not sure, but
as a
Jabba's load zone is still there as adult. It's just under the ice, so you can touch it just barely by doing that.
back in
clip.
December, November. It was
It's
months ago.
very precise though. It's frame perfect like most tricks. So it feels good to get it fast.
Yeah, I've like been getting it every single time. It's so weird because when I practice it, it's like super inconsistent. But whenever I get there in a real run, it just works.
Hey Arthur, thanks for good luck. Yo, hungry. Yeah.
See if I can get it this time.
So here's a neat little setup.
Yeah, no, I have a like a really good way of doing it.
So I drop down there, I shoot one of the Skulltulas, you have to be very quick, and then with a quick spin you can kill both of them. Because they will 100% hit you every single time if you don't do it. And then I can just side up, talk to Ruda from below. I can't praise the way I do it too much though. If I fail it now, I'm gonna look stupid. Yeah, I do fail it, you'll see later. I did get it today though. But at least past 5 runs we've had it work. The bubbles here bounce randomly. They can be very unfair. But here there's a pot up on that alcove with a fairy. Dude. And fairies will always match Link's Y value. So when we hit the pot, it drops down to Link's level. And then I just have to hope that it goes towards my direction. And I'm not doing that again. Because we need it for an upcoming wrong word. And here's more health management. Kind of like run dead, because you have to exit the room, reload it, grab Rudo again. Just to get a new fairy. Bad. Too far to the right. There's a way to skip that text box by landing at the very corner. I'm really good at it, but I had to fail it in that run, unfortunately. I wish it was included. So there's actually 4 stingrays there. You don't see the fourth one because throwing Ruda there missing 2 swipes. That was still is very intentional because her ass kills one of them. Good job. That's why we bring Ruda on there. And with Boomerang, we pretty much cleared all of Jabu. There's just one more Skulltula right before Baronade. Here's a cool way to make it to the door before it closes. So you have to roll on the correct frame, the first frame, and then you have to 1 frame to open the door. And here I do a very cool thing. I took a long time to make this be consistent, but that whole movement there is very... That was dumb. Very intentionally done that way to get an angle so that I can just turn right and use the angle that I get to clip. Because clipping there is very precise. It's a idea, less than an ESS turn is the room of error. And don't die. Chicken. Do some meal prep, a bunch of chicken, and I just put them in some wraps. So here's just pretty standard Baronade fight. Using nuts to instantly kill the jellyfish. Do that twice. Things will go south very fast if you do that wrong. It's very easy to lose the whole run here because it matters where we kill Baronade. It has to be in the far back of the room, otherwise the blue warp won't spawn where we need it to be. Enjoy your new badge, dude. Also, running into Baronade has 2 uses. 1, lowering our health, and 2, Baronade will pop back up from the ground by taking damage. Otherwise, you'll just have to wait a really long time. Okay, I did a mistake here. I'm really surprised that I still managed to pull it off. That was kind of swag. That's some pro shit. I got it somehow. Impressing myself. I was trying to quick
How
draw
the
it.
fuck did I have my boomerang? Like, I was trying to shield.
Yeah, I was trying to press shield and boomerang at the same time. But I just chucked it instead. So here's a weird thing happening. I die while entering the blue warp, and it doesn't start the cutscene because this one is unique in that it only starts after talking to Rudo. So I'm in a weird state now where the blue warp is constantly putting me back in place. And the moment I look at Rudo, like into her eyes, the text will pop. And so on the last chew there where I die, I target her and start the text and I die, and now I have dead wall talking. And then I have to close the first text box, which means I only have one shot to press B there for the slash to turn around. And then I chuck the boomerang by holding boomerang and pressing C up, because C up actually advances text, but it also throws the boomerang. That way I'm closing the text on the same frame I throw the boomerang every single time. And that's used so I can time when to side up, because like every wrong warp, it's frame perfect. And I exit the boss area on the same frame the warp is trying to take me away to the cutscene. And that just gives me a different value, like for the warp to take me. It's a lot of stuff going on. But it conveniently takes us to the Dodongo's cavern. Specifically, King Dodongo's boss room. Which is super convenient because it's the only one that you can actually exit from. For whatever reason.
Teleport manipulation.
I think it's so that you don't softlock yourself by running out of bombs when you're in there. Since you have to blow up the floor. Could be why. But we exit there and we get the Skulltula in the far back because that one is really out of the way. So getting that one and then not having to backtrack is really good.
This isn't gonna work.
And here I thought I messed up really bad, which I thought it wasn't gonna work, but it did.
Oh my god. Thank you, OT Lords.
That clip is whack. But yeah. Also, chewing the floor for the King Dodongo is also for later, to save on bombs.
Okay. I'm so sweaty, I'm like constantly wiping off at my pants.
And here is a cool thing. Like I said earlier, when Link is slashing, he can't fall off ledges. So I do a triple slash to get as close to the ledge as I can. And I press for his wind right before the Tektite hits me. And that pushes me off. And that timing is important, because if I press it late or early, the Tektite has a chance of just not pushing me.
Hyperventilating adult 1.
Which is pain, because then you have to pause, equip iron boots,
in the run here
sync, unequip iron boots.
For like minus 40-ish into
It's very, very bad time loss.
But I was late on the bug swipe.
Yeah, we did set for world record. We did. So here, just talking to Rudo. Also, swimming over to that hallway like I did there is super tight. But with the right angle and enough mashing, you can just barely make it. Good night, Bacon. So here, a setup there with the side hop. We play or Lullaby to lower the water, and then we do a slash here. But then I cancel the slash and I pull Ocarina. That's only to get access to be able to pause. Otherwise, I have to wait for the water to fully go down. And then out of the unpause, I hold the direction to side hop in, but I don't hold target. And so it's an untargeted side hop since I press target just before the pause. And by doing an untargeted side hop, I can retarget mid-air. And I retarget in that alcove hole that I'm falling into. And because the wall in front of me is a cardinal wall, it has the attribute of being a sticky wall. So it sticks Link to the wall and kind of sucks him forward. Just enough to make it to that ledge. You can't really notice it, but you're being sucked forward just barely. Just enough to make it to the middle floor. Because we really need that key. If you miss that, your run's just over. But yeah, 90-degree walls, so north,
bombs, that's great. We
northeast, southwest. If you target it when you're just looking at it, Link will like match the wall's angle. That's how you know it's a cardinal.
Let's go.
If he doesn't snap to it, that means it's just a regular bad wall. And to get that wall's angle, you have to have something called, I don't know, pseudo movements. Basically, like Link is moving, but you're not holding anything on your stick. So like the easiest way to do it would just be rolling and pressing target while you're rolling into the wall. But the fast way that we do is just you tap and then you target. But yeah. So first win again. We do a setup here, very precise.
That was a interesting.
Since we lower the water, we have to open this door without any floor, and there's 2 frames to do that, but it is easy to miss. It's a scary trick, definitely the scariest trick in water for me. And here we get ISG to get close to the ledge again.
Nice.
That way we can just barely reach that Skulltula,
crushed.
since hookshot is very short. And then by being fast here, I can make it the cycle that's fastest, essentially. I don't think it has a name. The Axel cycle. I can quick draw hookshot as I grab that ledge. Just like small optimizations. If I walk towards the nose of that statue, Link will do a short hop instead of climbing.
Alright. The collision on that is fucked. You'd expect it to be a cylinder.
Yeah, it is fucked. And then I hit the magic invisible hat on the tech type, which was sad.
That was so good till then.
I just aimed too high there.
It's like a sphere for the diamond
Thanks to 5 months.
switches.
Nums, appreciate it. So here, we use nuts to absolutely wreck Dark Link. Dark Link's health matches Link's health, so since we don't have any hearts, we have like 5. We finish him in just 3 hits.
Alright. Still good. Water's hard.
And with long shot, here's a trick called entrance point glitch, where I recoil off the door, and on the second frame of recoil, I put hover boots on, and that gives me enough backwards momentum to where Link doesn't walk all the way through, because doors are programmed in a way where when you're a certain distance from the wall, it closes. And so by being close to the door, you can have both rooms loaded, but only the room that you just loaded has its actor loaded, which means getting back into the previous room would mean that there are no actors. You notice how the long shot chest wasn't there when I turned around. For whatever reason, that door specifically is hookshotable in the door frame. It must be some leftover hookshotable thing, similar to what's happening here, where I'm just hookshotting seemingly nothing. I think it's theorized that it's leftover hookshot markers that they just didn't remove. They removed the texture, but not the actual hookshotable attribute. But yeah, the whole entrance point glitch thing is just to get rid of the Song of Time block, because we don't have Song of Time. It is leftover, Betamaps converted. Alright. So there's something called Weird Shot. Link isn't actually under the ground, only the first person camera is. And so that lets us to hookshot past walls. Here I did a little
That sucks.
goof. Weird clip is different, yeah. Weird clip is just basically you do a weird shot, but you fail it, so you don't actually go underground. Instead, you just send Link flying forward.
Yes.
And if you do it at certain places, like we do outside Forest Wind, Fire Fountain, you can make Link grab onto the ledge that's below the boulder, for example. Here's a pretty, not super precise, but you gotta make it before that Tektite bites you.
I don't remember how lenient the lineup is.
Oh yeah, I guess I should make a note of that. I need a refresher. Yeah, so today we were plus 18 here, which means we were actually still minus 30. So Forest Temple might be the hardest part of Adult 1. Not sure. I'd put Ice Cavern and Forest pretty similar. Forest is probably harder. I just hate Cavern. So here, there's a cutscene that always plays, and by looking at Link when I'm walking forward, I'm looking for a specific frame to drop the bugs. And if I get the right frame to swipe, but if I drop it a late frame, I only have one. Alright, my co-host took over on that one. So here I have to be quick, make it over to the elevator. Because it's basically just getting access to play during the cutscene. And normally you have to just watch the elevator slowly go down, but by doing that bug thing, we're able to get on it before it starts moving down, which is a huge save. You're not meant to be down here until you've cleared all of Forest and killed all pros. Nice. Again, there's been health management going on since beginning of Water Temple. Even before that, since beginning of after the wrong work, basically. I set myself up so I have a heart and a half. A heart and a quarter works too, but at least... Oh, don't hit me. At least a heart more than one heart. Navi, you're in the way. And the thing with the Song of Time block there, that's called a ledge clip. I think. Yeah, probably. You just side up and then you side roll, and then on the first frame that Link is trying to grab onto the ledge, you press target again, and he'll target the wall, since it's a cardinal wall, so he'll be sticking to that direction. And that makes Link grab on the reverse side, which puts us inside the Song of Time block. It doesn't work on every ledge. There's some rules to it, specifically that it has to be on the left, and it has to be a cardinal wall that you're sticking to. Ouch. And here, I jump slash, and I'm doing crouch stabs because crouch stabs will do whatever damage you previously made. So I'm essentially doing jump slash damage when I'm stabbing those Stalfos, which does double damage over normal sword slash. And there's a fairy in that pot that we grab. Some stuff going on here. This is one of the hardest tricks in the run. First of all, I get in the corner, I jump slash, crouch, I stack 3 bombs to make the collision the most possible. I stab the door just like in Water Temple to get entrance point glitch. The bombs push me to the side, I'm inside the wall, I turn around, I drop a bomb, I look for a frame, I pull hookshot on a specific frame, I rotate all the way around. Depending on if I got first or second frame on the drop, I have to hookshot this differently. I got the normal frame, so I hookshot late, which is second frame there. I was like thinking, and that sets it up so that you die on the very same frame that you hit the chest. And if you remember earlier, I said how walking away from the door, close it, it only checks for your X value. So I'm on the second floor, and that's when I close the door. And the game remembers, okay, that's where he should be if he voids out or whatever. So that's why it puts me up there, because that's where the game thinks I exited from. Or, you know, entered the room from. And the reason I have to do that is because the way this second phase starts is because the game checks, is first floor cleared? Yes. Did he enter from like this floor? And that basically means that the game wants you to enter at this Y level. Because if you just exit the room and then come back, you would reload the whole room, because this is like one room total. It's just 2 floors, but they're not separate rooms. They're both the same. So by voiding out, Link reloads, but now he's reloading the area at that Y level, which spawns the second fight. You'd be surprised how difficult it is to break both those pots in one stab. It is difficult. And then, if you paid attention, Link just kind of kicked open the chest there. If you don't do it right, you'll just break one of them. And that's because I actually have a glitched quiver one will, like, from RBAing earlier. That you actually hit it. And so the game is basically like, oh, he already has quiver. That flag is checked. We don't have to play the animation here for opening the chest. And that's why I have like 0 arrows and actually have to go to that pot and grab some. Because my quiver is empty. Alright, nice. So there's a boss key skip. It's pretty cool. You can slash the side. Time pulling out a bow or hookshot, whichever first person item that suits you. And that way you cancel your momentum during the backflip and land inside the fence on the staircase. And then you can just hold left, grab onto the ledge, click through, roll. Fortunately, load zones are always active. Every boss arena is a separate arena. Basically, like, you know how Link Void, like, it turns black screen between areas? If it does that, it's a completely different scene. And those load triggers are always there. Just happens that we can just hit the load zone from up there because load zones extend infinitely upward. Kind of reverse of water that extends infinitely down. That sucks. I actually have to do this now. I did a mistake here. I was trying to get ISG, but the window you have is really tight to do everything at once. Because I'm actually going to RBA more during the fight. Since I don't have any chews anymore. I think you might be able to use bombs on him, and I should have done that, but I haven't tested it. I'm going to make a note. I think you can. I'm pretty sure I've done it before. Remind me of that. That would be the backup. So we do that. You see how we have 29 chews now? Here. Hello. It's very important that we get ISG before that because we don't have a sword. And so now I can still damage him because I set that up before putting a bottle on my B button. And when you shoot arrows at Phantom like Ganon, his hitbox becomes active when he spins his staff like that. Use bombs on him. Well, I wasn't able to ISG. So by doing that we can stun him on his way up and hit him again. Basically just stun locking. And I don't want to wait for him an extra cycle. Also, there's some management going on here with my arrow counts. It needs to be 13. So if I lower it to 12, the run's dead. And that's because I'm setting up for a glitch an hour and a half from now. Or less like an hour from now. It'll be relevant when we get into Adult 2. Just keep in mind that we have 13 arrows right now. Not kill the run first. Also here, I'm actually deleting my quiver when I drop bugs here on Kajiro. So if I do spend an arrow now, after this point, it goes straight to 0. So, have to set that up before then. And here I just catch them in a different bottle. And I'm doing a setup here to... Oh my god, there's so much to explain. That glitch is called Ocarina Items. You press bottle and then any item mid-air and it acts like an ocarina because you can't use ocarina in boss zones. That's a way around it, and by doing that we basically get access to the blue orb as it's activated. And then I do a setup which is precise like always. 2 frame perfects and I nail it. The pull-out frame and when you backflip frame. Ooh. And you saw that white flash afterwards. That's a way to see if you actually got it or not. So now I have the Forest Medallion, and Forest is complete. And I skipped the cutscene, and that's one of the longest cutscenes in the whole game. So it's nice to skip. Yeah, as long as they're not annoying and rude. So here I have a stick on my B button, because when you save and quit with bottle on B, it turns into a stick, because Ocarina of Time is a game. And I don't know, I'll have to explain. I'm gonna have to explain that somehow. So we have 2 sticks, and I have to do this clip twice. First time, because Cheek is there, bothering us with prelude cutscene. So by voiding out while we hit that trigger, means that now I have the prelude song learned. And I have to do it again. 2nd frame of recoil, like in Water and Forest. Quip hovers on that, keeps the recoil speed.
Alright, 2 pause on both.
And we clip a
checked that
second
over that
time.
one.
So only have 2 shots to do that. You really can't miss. So there I dropped, or I caught bugs on B when Fairy was on C, right? And Fairy just points to my stick count. So you see I have 29 sticks now. And that will be useful for Trial 2, but also for Duel 2. It's also a different reason when we put Bottle on B, is to set up a glitch called Bottle Adventure. Which you'll see later what that does. Here's a clip, because we still haven't opened that door time, and we never do. Fortunately, it's a lot easier to clip that way than from the other side. And now we're in the Child 2 segment, which is... I'd say Child 2 and Child 3 are both lottery sections of the run, but Child 2 especially so. There's a lot of stuff that's just not in your control. The hardest part of Child 2 is just anger management with how much time you lose. Pulling the Chew there just to get a little small Hest there.
Nice.
Barely saves anything, but you know, gotta do what you can. Also, as you can see,
like,
our
wipe
magic
off my
is
controller
exactly 0 because
with
we
something.
use everything pretty much perfectly in the run. Like bomb count is like perfect,
I don't
Chew
have
count's perfect, magic's perfect, you know, arrows have to be perfect count. It's like a lot of stuff to keep track of. My whole controller is drenched. It was all greasy. I usually have like some isopropyl and I just wipe off the outside with that. Oh yeah, I have to actually buy some because I ran out. Isn't it weird how they only sell that at the pharmacy even though it's used for like PCB board cleaning? Like 100% isopropyl. Odd. Anyway, here's the setup to do the seam walk that we do in Child 1. Except from this side it's harder, I find. But yeah, really scary. I had like a weird wiggle there, almost fell off. Then I can do a little scary Hess here. If you fall down there, the guards will catch you. Fortunately, the fence there is one-sided, so you can just phase through it. It's only collision on one side. All this just for this one Skulltula. And here I have a neat way of getting it. I grab it as I load out, which is really fast, and then we just move on with our day. Can Hess off that dude, he doesn't mind.
Yeah.
So we're on our way to Lon Lon, and the reason we woke up Talon in Child 1 is because he won't appear in Lon Lon if you don't actually wake him up, so we can't just ignore him and go straight to Zelda.
For double Chew Hess?
Here I'm referring to a double Chew Hess where you can drop 2 Chews.
That's how you...
It's frame perfect though, and you do it off the stone wall thing in there. It saves like 2-3 seconds since you don't have to wait for the bomb or the Chew to cook. But you don't want to get greedy. So here's a fun random section. We do this to get one of the bottles which has milk in it,
Good camera there.
and that's also convenient because milk RBA gives us more bombs, which we will use about 3 hours and 20 minutes into the run. Yeah, it takes us, the more runs I get to like deep, like yesterday, the more confident I get and less nervous. So here Grab 2 of
I
them.
see him. No, this one. Damn it. I saw him. But
3
then
out of
the camera
4 is
turned towards
fine.
him.
It's alright. Or 4 out of 3. You're a strat. Didn't you side up there though? I thought you did. So here we can just hess off the pot. On our way to Malin. And
507.
I really despise this
Solid.
part because you have to talk to her 3 times. And
But
Link
my
kind of
gold
steps back when you
was
talk
also
to her.
507.
And what can happen is that you get out of her range. Like, right, what he did just there. And when you pull out Ocarina, nothing will happen because you like stepped out of her range. And it pisses me off. I hate her. It's so stupid. So we learn Epona song here. And I'm not sure why, but this cutscene here in specific actually reloads. You see there? It just has a weird...
Yeah, I had trouble getting
white
bonus
closing and
here 'cause
opening.
I couldn't read English. Like, it's not my first language. So I was just brute
It might be
forcing my
to
way
get
through
like
the
get like
entire game.
Epona
And I
to come
remember
back
some
to that
playthroughs
spot.
I couldn't get Epona. Because you have
Could
to
be why they
exhaust
do that.
3 of her
But that actually
bullets before
matters
pulling out.
because now that we're loading in like that, that's our new
Ocarina
entrance
Corner.
point. So when we play Sun Song, we're not gonna come out of the door where we did the minigame. We're gonna be exactly where we loaded in. So I drop a chew here on that wall to kill a Skulltula. And then here I drop a chew on seemingly nothing. But that's actually the 000 coordinate of the map. Basically XYZ 000. And for whatever reason the devs left in unloaded enemy data there, which happens to be health. So that was
Yes.
clean. Holy shit, he's so good.
Usually his buddy
He's so good.
comes after him and like
Holy shit, look at him go.
for the finisher, but we actually managed to get away.
But yeah, the one in front of us is loaded when we spawn in, so that one doesn't die. But this one and the other one on the house wall die because of the 000. And hessing off that is difficult because when you kill stuff, there's like an impact frame. So there are 4 freeze frames where the game is just frozen. So you have to intentionally delay your inputs for that hess specifically. Which was very hard to get good at.
Impressing myself over here.
And then that's a cool setup I made. We can clip that corner there and not have to push the box. And then we warp out of there. And yet another convenient thing with this route, well, is that when it's
Yesterday we
morning
had
or just before
similar
it turns
pace
morning,
going into fishing.
I think it's between 5 and 7 in the game. Fishes have a multiplier 1.5, which makes them a lot more attracted to the bait and will hop onto it more frequently. And so the movement I do here is pretty much always the exact same for that reason, so that I don't enter too early but also not too late, because if I'm too early the fish will be in a weird frenzy where they'll jump around in the water and it'll be impossible to get them. You have to wait because time of day in here moves at 1/10 the speed of outside in the other, like in Hylia for example. So here there's 3 fish.
Too close.
I only want one of the other 2 because it needs to be a certain size
Oh, please. Yes.
for this trick here to work that's coming up. I'm doing something here where I enter the water intentionally and then I hold target and keeps me in a weird state where when I talk to this guy, I think it's item delay. I'm not really sure what happens. I think it's something. You're meant to get gold skill as adult, but we basically get that reward as Child Link. And then the actual reward we're trying to get needs a big fish, and this fish over here is always big enough. Unfortunately, the bigger they are, the less likely they are to jump onto it. Fortunately, I got really good fishing here, as you can tell. He's a little bit of a fighter, but still better than what I usually get. Also, I didn't know I go alone on. I forgot about that. So there's the heart piece. And we got both gold scale and heart piece from the source, which means we don't have to do adult fishing. Thank God, because adult fishing is horrible. They'll be fighting on the line for like 2 minutes straight. You have to get the insta catches in adult 2 or in adult fishing. So here I play Sunsong early because I'm setting up for a time of day to be the way I want it after Gorn City later on. Which also means there's not a whole lot of room for error here. So I have to be quick. Also I learned Scarecrow because we used it twice in the run. You can just play any song you want, but I do CLFC right. Setting up RBA here. Just to refill my chew count. And then I can drop a bomb there to kill the Skulltula that pops out. Can drop a chew here on the wall to hit the Skulltula. That's on the other side of the building. Precise aim there, can grab it. And I try to grab both tokens at the same time. Which just skips one of the text boxes. But that was still very clean. Do a mega side hop off the sign. And then keep momentum by mashing target for a super swim. At least until he resurfaces. Which is perfect distance to make it over to Rudo's letter. And then we get into domain. So you have to make it the here before daytime, essentially. It's on one way or another, but it's by the original. I prefer the One Direction version. Yeah, it's better. So there is a torch up the stairs, but you don't actually have to light that one for this chest. It's only these temporary torches that burn out after a while. Dude, One Direction. So I do a thing there called flame storage where I put away the stick, and as I put it away it goes through the flame. That way next time I pull it out, as long as that torch is still loaded and on fire, you would hear them all the time as a kid. The game will basically just instantly set my stick on fire. Like, not really caring. So that's what's happening there. Somehow you just know the lyrics. Hess here, I messed up. Skill issue. One of the harder Hesses, I'd say, but it's not that bad. Gotta make that tight corner turn there. And then here I had a bad angle. Fine. So I had to do the slow way. I'll do it your way game. So this is called ledge cancel. It puts me in a weird state where I can just phase through NPCs like I just cool way of doing that, side up through Kingzora there.
Congrats on the WR.
Since we never moved him and we'd never do in the run. That's how we get past him. And then set up that shoot to hit the Skulltula on the wall. Do a mega flip here. I failed it. That sucks, man. And because of that, this is one of my biggest time saves in the run. Time save. This split has like 20 seconds to save total. So that's one of the mistakes that was significant in the whole run. Yo Clank, thanks for 22 months. Thanks for the congrats, appreciate it. Here I do a little strat where I intentionally try and drop the bugs close to the hole. Not to have all of them dig, but at least one. Survivor. Oh shit. Real. And that was perfect. And then I choke ISG. It's frame perfect, but I shouldn't be making mistakes like that. Pull a bomb here. Throw it at a certain time. Since if we have ISG, we can't fall because the game thinks we're constantly slashing our sword. That way we're hovering. And here we're doing twisted shoe hovers that frame perfect, so we pause buffer it because you don't want to do this frame perfect. You'd have to go from up left on your stick to down in less than a frame and then do the
Might have been
inputs.
able to do the last one unbuffered, but
So in a 20th second, it's
taking my
just
chance.
I don't like it.
Okay.
Sometimes I can do the last hover there unbuffered. I didn't go for it that time because I wasn't 100% sure and I didn't feel like risking it on that run. But yeah, you can clip into the yellow trigger
Dig, you just
by
lose.
back
Is there
walking and
backup
just
plan? So that for
exploding
that one,
on
there
the boulder.
In Goron City, when you do the boulder maze, you can lift up the rock next to the box that has a Skulltula and grab bugs. And so you do your equips that you would normally do in the trail earlier. It kind of sucks because you have to lift the rock. If you blow it up, they don't spawn. So it is a time loss. But bugs can lose you so much time.
Yep.
Like, if they just mess with you, you can just lose 7 seconds, I think, is the longest. I forget what their lifespan timer is, but it's honestly more worth trying to get 1 or 2 to insta-dig. Just by knowing where to drop.
It's a cool setup that I made. Triple side up, pull bomb, blows up right when you arrive at the box. Kill that guy, pull a bomb, do a Hess. I got second frame here, so I'm adjusting to left ESS about halfway through. Drop, jump slash, get the heart piece. Remembering to breathe. This is very nice, because we're coming from this side, we can light our torch right away and set all of these torches on fire here, which activates the big pot, starts spinning, so we can do the bomb throw mini game here. Very specific about my movement here to make sure that shoe that I drop hits the rolling Goron as he's under the tunnel, because only that part of the Goron City where the big, or I think it's a Medigoron, I'm not sure, but he only gives you the reward if you blow him up, basically where he is now.
Alright, fine.
You don't want to miss that because you have to wait for him to spin around the whole lap, and it's very painful. And we Hess off here. This is one of the most iconic cool Hesses in the run, and I think I nailed it too. Watch this. A lot of tight turns happening very fast. It's a lot of inputs. Blow up these 2 boulders just to make out faster. I hit the thing with the stick. I bomb the rock with the thing. I slide away as I'm grabbing the token. I kind of turned late there. There's a faster way to clip at the end there, but still solid, I think.
I just had like a huge dopamine rush in my head. I'm listening to
Oh yeah, I remember
Come
that.
Together by the Beatles, and like that good part of the song
The riff
hit
happened.
right in sync with the gameplay.
That shoe hit the Goron
They hit
there,
the Goron. Thank you.
which was great because I need to blow
Should
up
be
the
fine.
boulder. And then here I line up again for another fast bug drop,
I hope.
and it was really good.
Okay, good. Whew,
Okay,
perfect.
I almost had all the 3 of them dig, which would be really bad. That's why I spazzed out for a second. Chew the Skulltula, returning at nighttime using ocarina items once again. Playing the
Playing it
chew
safe.
flute. That slope there is really steep. You have to grind against that wall.
Good.
Otherwise, if you're coming straight at it, Link will straight up lift off the ground for a frame, which just kills all your speed. And Dampe is only in the graveyard until 9 PM. And it turns night at 7, so like pretty much right at the beginning of
Sounds so
nighttime.
scary. Yeah, dude.
If you fail at Hess about halfway through,
I am stressed out.
you have to
and
either equip
nervous
bombs and try and start
every run
another
with,
one,
like,
but it's really hard because the Tektites are there,
you know,
and you'll
past
end
the
up
40
targeting
minute
them,
mark at
and
least.
that'll just drop the Hess. It's a nightmare.
It gets serious around Ice Cavern.
But yeah, we have to show him the letter even though the gate's already open, because that initiates the mask quest. Otherwise the mask shop doesn't open. So here, just some standard movement.
Perfect.
Getting some Sculptureless. Yeah, thanks, Nido
Closing
Queen.
TTS
Appreciate it.
and alerts, by the way.
So, good fishing, coming in to graveyard 2 minutes ahead. Last 2 times I did that, I got 21st try and 25th try. One of those was on my birthday too, which was so shitty. So I didn't really have high hopes for this. Do a
Perfect last shoe.
yeah. I mean, you can tell like we're optimizing all the stuff we have. Every single explosive, it all like comes together nicely. All planned out. And this is where I realize I actually have to play the rest, because I'm ready to go to the bathroom when I get here. I like mentally relax because I'm like, okay, run's over. I did good, but now I have to make the most of it.
Cheers.
So here, I drink the Poe because that's the last time I RBA Poe for 29 bomb chews. And I do that because I need to free up a bottle slot so that in Adult 2, when I kill one of the big Poes, I have room for it. And now it's nothing is serious until this happens. If you get past Dampe, now it's super serious mode. You can grab that token while you're pulling the grave. It gives you access of it so you don't have to wait. And the reason it's serious now is because now is the next hour is the hardest part of the whole run. Which is insanely brutal considering the amount of luck you need to just get to that part of the run.
Just by saying good things.
I do my quips early to save a chew, so I don't have to spend a chew on this Sculpturella, Eric. Also, I doubt drinking Poe during that saves time since it freezes time of day. Or it freezes everything. I really don't think it saves anything. Doubt that. I would need some video proof on it.
Got this. I don't want any pace pals in here asking if this can still PB your world record. That's such a dumb question.
Yeah, pace pals come in, they have one thing to say.
Deciding whether it's
And it's just waving a
their
flag
watch.
saying, I'm an idiot, an unlikable person, avoid me at all costs. So here, so the way Navi works, Navi will show up 30 seconds after entering an area, and then she'll hang around for 2 minutes 30 seconds. So after you've spent total 3 minutes in an area, Navi disappears, and she doesn't show up until like 20 minutes later, or if you save warp, basically saving and resetting the game. But now, all this movement here is planned out, because look here when I jump, if you look on my C buttons, you don't even see her until right there.
I was like, I was kind of slow there. Why hasn't Navi
So
shown up yet? But
I
guess
was
still
basically getting Navi just in the nick of time
optimally fast.
to do that Navi dive. And then here's a horrible Hess. I hate this Hess. It's so annoying.
I That gives me a heart attack.
Yeah, and here I'm just unable to ESS once to the right.
Hard to ESS.
So stupid. Because I'm using a new stick and it's all stiff. It's like just doing the slightest motion that actually registers. But yeah. We're just coming back here. This is why we grabbed 2 keys at the beginning of the run. Well, when we were in the well. It's just for those 2 Skulltulas here. And we come back since we have Boomerang now. And now it's time for Adult 2. Most intense section of the run. And it's really cool. It's fun when you do it well, but it's really sucky when you don't. Yeah, I want to do one trip just so I don't have to do that stuff that I just did in the well. And as you can see, I'm 58 seconds ahead of my best pace ever. Meaning the best I've had past Tampa has been about a minute 20-ish. And it's usually always gone really south. The few times that we've had a good run past Tampa. So being 2 minutes ahead, you can imagine how I felt. Here, I do a different setup than I do in Adult 1, just because when you press B with Master Sword, Link always pulls it out at the same time. Stick, you have to first pull it out and then jump slash, which gives you a different jump slash timing in relation to when you press the button. So just for convenience, I do that setup, which isn't much slower. It also has 6 frame window, which is huge, and you don't want to fuck it up at this point. But yeah. The reason we had 13 arrows in the Adult 1 was to get Furrow's Wind on B, because 13 is the value for Furrow's Wind. And when I entered Adult 2 here, I had Rudolph's Letter on C right. And Rudolph's Letter points to my arrow count.
Hover a little too much faith there.
And because I entered Child 2 with Bottle on my B button, which is why I RBA'd those fairies for more sticks. The real reason why we did that there is because now, with 13 arrows pointing to First Wind, it puts First Wind on my B button. Which is super broken, because it means we can set it pretty much wherever we could just use Sword normally. Which lets us do a lot of crazy stuff. Normally, you can only set First Wind in dungeons. It's a dungeon-only item.
Something else.
But
Dude,
this
I'm
way we can
shaking.
set it in the overworld, like we just did. And this is the sole reason
to not fuck up.
why we play on the Wii and not N64. It's just because using stick as
and
adults
the stupid controller, like,
as a substitute for
traces
sword
for the screws
to deal damage
are bad.
is
So the controller gets like the shells
super
get, like, looser
OP.
and looser, so I have like to
because
screw
sticks
it in.
deal the same amount of damage
whenever
as
I get
Master
some
Sword.
downtime. Give it like a half twist.
So if you're ever playing as Child Link, do a jump slash with a Deku Stick, and then you can crouch stab with Kukiri Sword. You'll deal tons of damage. Here I just break one, because, I don't know, I have like... I did it once and now I'm just doing it every time. There's no real reason for it.
Okay.
I do need to lower my stick count, but I don't have to do it necessarily there.
That was not nice.
So, break some more sticks there while I'm killing that slimy testicle. The hitbox can really troll you. I should have fired my hookshot sooner, because I have a way where I snipe it before I can even see it. I just shot a little early. It's all good though. Also, the thing I did with the boss key escape, I did a hover, and then I placed a bomb, and just before it blew up, I swung my sword, so I snapped back to the ground. At the same time I snapped back to the ground, the explosion hit me. So the game pushed me down and right. It's called a ground clip, because I just push into the low trigger. It doesn't work on every wall, it's only on certain boss doors and whatnot. But yeah, by doing that setup and walking into the blue warp on the same frame I press Forest Wind, those are frame perfect. Accepting the Forest Wind that you're actually gonna warp is not. I'm just waiting for the head-up display to start fading. That's my cue.
I just really don't want to kill one here.
You do that, and you Forest Wind back
my
here,
God.
but we still
That's
got the water
problem,
medallion.
being really far ahead.
But as you can see, the water is not raised because we never watched the cutscene, so it never happened. And because of that, I do a thing here where I kill the Skulltula, and then I backflip, and on a specific frame, I press
Then
Ocarina.
don't. But if I kill the run,
And if
because
you
I
remember
didn't play
earlier,
safe, I'll never
If you press
forgive
Ocarina or
myself.
whatever, a timer stops, for example, in the Mountain Crater, and you lose all ability to move Link until you've
Ow.
landed.
That's
And
second
it's basically
frame, which
called
is
token
good.
delay,
Gives me more
because
height
I'm
in case
grabbing
I have
it,
bad position.
but I'm not grabbing
we're
it.
fine.
The
Actually,
game
timing this
knows that
first
I
frame
grabbed
saves more
it,
time
but it
because you're
can't
not
give
in
it
the
to
air as
me
well.
because I did that thing with Ocarina.
Not much though. Like
And so the next time I
Less than
load
a
it, it does give it to me, which I use that to cancel my hook shot. That's why I look up and shoot the tree, because I'm looking for a frame where I'm looking up, where I shoot the tree as I loaded the
Dude.
token in, which, you know, cancels the thing. And the reason it sends Link flying like that is just because, for whatever reason, when you hookshot something on the first frame, Link gets an insane Y velocity, but it's cancelled right after, so it would never affect Link or anything, or like a casual player. But if you're able to cancel it on that frame, you actually maintain that Y velocity.
alright, where are you, buddy?
So you gotta play Scarecrow song to actually get it. And then we get there. That Gwei is always there. You gotta kill it, or else it'll knock you off the ladder. Like 95% chance. You can make it, but it's incredibly rare and never really worth going for. Here's a cool optimization where I grab that ledge as I go into the water, and that kills my momentum, so I don't sink as much in the water, because I can't dive until I've surfaced. So by not diving or like sinking as much, I'm able to dive faster. And here's a cool thing. Well, actually no, because we actually do that the legit way. On N64, they used to sync with Iron Boots and then hookshot the box, and then mid hookshot they would just equip Kokiri Boots, and the game would be like, oh, he reached the bottom with Kokiri Boots. But since we actually have gold scale, it's faster to do it that way. Yeah, thanks, Yeoman. Here we can just hit that ladder. I've been meaning to practice that. I gotta make a note.
Oh fuck.
Need to make sure you have at least
Carry
10
on,
rupees after
Wayward
Dampe,
Son. You started playing.
just for that heart piece there. Back in the day when I was new, I had runs that where I forgot about the rupee count, and I would be screwed when I got there.
I just think of the South Park episode.
Yeah, don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
With the Guitar Hero.
I'm just yapping. Pretty hard to get through that hole, because there is a road texture in Hyrule Field, but the gap for the fence is just not anywhere near it. It's like so stupid. Really fucks with my OCD.
Gold it, bitch. No.
And since
That's
you can't
fair.
see the fence because you're going backwards like that, you can lose a
The
lot of
shovel is
time just
slow,
by
but-
missing it. Fortunately, I spent a long time
Maybe talking to the Scarecrow.
that I know exactly where it is.
No point to think about it.
The game only checks for Link to leave on the 3 sides of the fence. You can also leave through the main gate, but if you leave just by hovering and hit the load trigger, it will always just assume that you got over the fence with Epona, so it'll play the cutscene that you just played. which gives us Epona. And that's only because of spawning that big Poe. But also because we need her later.
Okay.
Because we need to break her free, otherwise Epona Song does nothing. And that's just for the horse archery game later on. You can spawn big Poes without Epona, but if you don't have Epona, you're on foot. I think it's a 1 in 3. Otherwise, it's just a regular Poe. It's something like that. But yeah, here's a very cool way of duping Poes. Because we don't want to kill our Din's Fire, because then the run's over. We don't want to delete that. We abuse the way elemental arrows and arrows work. Because you can only have arrows equipped. Either arrows or fire arrows. You can't have arrows, fire arrows, ice arrows. Like, they're all the same thing.
Ja, twijfel. Deze geeft geen soort Richard, Fisherman.
And so, if you look at the equips, it's very... You can kill the run here just by placing the wrong item on the wrong button. Because that Poe in C left, we don't have that anymore. It's not in our inventory. We're just keeping it on our C buttons. So I have a very specific order that I press my buttons here. And if you misclick, oh, it's over.
There's just tiny cooldown between.
Oh yeah, I have to
quick
speed on my
stopping and
Pepsi
giving
Max
him
here.
Poe.
Because
should be able to
Murrow's
open
really
that
thirsty
Pepsi.
and there's like no downtime in it too. But yeah, I put a fire arrow into that empty slot and then I equip swap. There's like,
Okay,
oh my god, there's so much going on. I have Din's Fire equipped, right? But equip swapping uses Din Fire slot. And so if I have Din's Fire and I have Bow and I equip swap, or I have arrows and I equip swap Bow over Din's, I use Din's slot, but I already have arrows equipped. So what does the game put in the third slot?
Thumb, which is not good. I had to
And it
wipe
just
off
kind
my
of
towel.
fills up with whatever it's got, which is Poe. So it's like, oh, I'll just put 2 of these, I guess. Something like that. No, we have fire arrows. We don't delete it. This whole method is just to...
Alright, one dupe missed.
It's
Other than that,
it's
it was
exactly so that we don't delete anything. By abusing how the game tries to fill up the MTC button, and it just puts 2 of the Poes. Since you can't have both bow and arrow and fire arrows equipped at the same time.
Head looks like the hookshot reticle.
It's like super convenient just how it all works.
It's just more oval shaped.
So those equip swaps are frame perfect, and the menu runs at 30 FPS. So it's a 1 in 30, which is harder than your average frame perfect, because the gameplay is actually 20 FPS. So gameplay 20 FPS, inventory 30 FPS, and main menu is actually 60 FPS. Which, if you pay attention to how the background moves, you can tell if you're watching at 60 FPS. This split's very hard, very difficult split. I call this the Hess split because there's just a bunch of hard Hesses. You really don't want to fumble with your ESS on this split. That was a really bad time to do that. Gotta be very confident with
Pink Floyd.
your ESS.
Another brick in the wall. This one isn't very hype.
How do you get Din's Fire back later? Well, if you delete it, you don't. Your run's dead. So by doing the fire arrow, or elemental arrow and bow and Din's equip swapping method, you can keep everything. So I set for his win there, and that'll be important because based on where I set for his win,
hitting. It's just clicking somehow.
The game will take me to a different place. So with the wall outside Lake Hylia, or in Lake Hylia, I set it and it just took me there after Water Temple. But it'll be different after this cutscene. And yeah, this is Cancer. So if you remember the 000 in Lon Lon, exact same thing is happening there, where I'm dropping a bomb on the 000 location. I HES and load the other area, but the Skulltula is still unloaded. And so the explosion blows up, it kills the unloaded Skulltula as I'm HESing in here, and then I can just grab the token. And tokens and Skulltulas have different hitboxes. You can't actually hit the Skulltula there from that position, but you can hit the token, because the token spawns higher up. Yo, hello CFG. Dude, you've been getting ratings so many times. Thank you so much, man. I'm doing a commentary of the new world record. You guys are in for a treat. We're the new world record holders.
I was like, dude, should I do 2 rolls here?
As of 2 days ago.
And I was like, wait, I might actually bonk. And I like go off the second roll. And then I was like, wait, am I too far away from the door? And then I panicked that I was.
Hope you had a good stream. See,
you're on a timer there, and it's pretty tight.
So yeah, this was
If you
the
try and
run.
climb and the key hits you, so you like
last
knock
Sunday.
over. You're not gonna have enough time to make it.
No, this
That's
is
why I waited
100%.
to
100%
attack you
speedrun.
first.
So this is 2 hours in. This is past Dampe. I had first try Dampe. Thank God. I haven't had it in absolutely forever. And I've been like working on so many strats, and it's taken forever to get used to them. And it just all sort of clicked
Gabi, thanks so much for the 61 months.
on this run finally. You'll see a really cool thing here in Shadow. Shadow Temple is nuts. It's crazy. You don't want to miss it. We killed King Dodongo here, and because I said first winning Kakariko earlier, the game's gonna do something funky. You can't miss this, by the way. This is not just a cutscene skip. This is... You gotta hit this. So I was like scared here. I paused early, but I shouldn't have.
It's all good.
I didn't want to kill the run.
One pass there would have golded, but
Yeah, it would have. It was a nice split. Other than that,
super good split.
so this actually takes us into the Nocturne cutscene, which normally only plays after you have Forest, Fire, and Water Medallion. But since Fire is the last temple we finish in the run, we don't really... We can't get this cutscene if we don't hit this wrong warp. It also skips the first half, because first half the Kakariko's like on fire, which is good, because less cutscene is more fun. Who remembers when CFG used to run this? Oh man, that was before SRM times. This is no SRM, by the way. This is the... SRM is dead. Okay. No one has submitted runs in like 2 years. No one cares about SRM. We just don't ever mention it. We do not speak of it.
Dude, I need to find some good song.
Why are the two of me? Because that's me from yesterday. Or 2 days ago. And here's me commentating. I'm kind of covering the graph here, but...
Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac.
Fuck, I can't access the thing. Oh well, the graph is looking really nice. So here's one of the hardest splits in the run. Yeah, it's a replay. I'm rewatching it from the other day. The new world record. Are all 100% runners this chill? Yeah, I'd say so. We're kind of all chill. But yeah, I don't say much when I'm doing the actual run, so now's a good time for me to commentate, because I'm doing this run on the ESA next month. Okay, so here's a super cool trick. I stack 3 bombs, and that's basically just makes the bomb collision like solid. And that pushes Link over the load trigger so that I can enter here without having to like set Din's Fire. And because of that strat, this was a strat that I worked on like months ago. and it's like so good because I do all of Shadow Temple unbuffered. So if you remember watching CFG, he used to chew off the sign and use that Mega Flip, but here I do a kind of a diagonal Mega Flip to clip that. Super precise, it's frame perfect, and I was really scared, but I've been practicing it unbuffered, so I just went for it.
That was scary.
If you pause late, you're gonna void out anyway, so I figured, might as well press A instead of pause. And then here I can cook the bomb as I'm setting for his wind, which, if I time
Really
it
hard
right,
to aim, like fine adjustments when your whole body's like tensed up.
yeah. I could barely even breathe during these parts. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Go check it out. So here's Shadow Hess. I messed it up, unfortunately. I have a really cool way of doing it. Had I not tried to go for the cool way? Oh, fitta. Okay, I said like a Swedish curse word there because that was a weird angle. I couldn't see anything.
That's alright.
But I managed to save it. Here's the fail I talked about.
Lame, but
We don't want to end up down there. Also, this is one of the worst sculptures in the whole game. I hate this one so much. Weird shots are specific to your angle, right? And so that's why the movement there is so odd. Just to keep that wall's angle. So the weird shot works. Yeah, I've been running this for years. I had the world record in 2022, and that was my PB that I'm running against now. Because back in August I came back, and I've been grinding very hard since then. And I finally PB'd, and even world recorded 2 birds, 1 stone. You can clip that gate by doing a precise lineup. It's kind of odd. It's just barely like misaligned enough to roll through it. These falling spikes here are always on the same cycle, so works out well. You can even backflip through it because it's a one-sided collision, I believe. And here, those side ups are very specific because I'm trying to load this invisible platform very specifically, and it's related to the camera's angle, if it's loaded or not. Because depending when I load it, it'll be a different position. But by knowing what I'm doing, thankfully, I've killed so many runs there. It should be there by the time I get there. I say should because I don't trust it. Kind of a leap of faith.
Please get it. Okay.
But yeah, the only thing that really went wrong in the splits was the Hess missing the ledge. It might have golded if not for that. But yeah, super good split. We were so far ahead. Second half of Shadow, I timed this bomb pull so that right when I land, I just backwalk, pull, hook shot, weird shot, shoot the ladder. Now it's the fun boat part. Holy. Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep doing runs for like a month and a half. Just so that I'm like on my toes for the ESA run. I wanna be really make sure that I'm, you know, as prepared as I can be. For sure, Angel. So, not doing the bell. They've been real sus lately. Please. Oh yeah,
That's
I don't
fucked
know
up.
why they're so
Just
weird
get up.
lately.
Jesus. There's like a legendary jump start they can do. I've never had it happen. No.
Hopefully we never have that happen.
Okay, this guy's fucked.
Yeah, like they're so laggy if you don't get them off there. Because I meant to Hess here. Unfortunately, I fail it. But yeah, normally here, when you backwalk and they're on there, it's a slideshow.
That really blows.
It turns into tower collapse on the N64.
Hess only saves like 2 seconds, but if you fail it, losing more than that.
But yeah. Not a huge time loss or anything. Here's a neat Hess that I do. I'll be back for that Skulltula in the far back after Bongo, because it just works out faster that way. Since it's so out of the way. It's like, it's the single reason why we even go on the boat. If not for that, we would do boat skip, where you clip from the hover boots rim. Newer routes will most likely use boat skip. Here's a Bosky skip. I paused early because I fumbled it on a previous run, so I was a little worried.
Failed that yesterday, so I was like extra conscious of not pausing late.
Yeah, CFG raided
We'll take it.
on the day before Sunday, and
Or actually, no, yesterday
killed the
was-
run at
it failed
Collapse.
not because of that pause. It was because of the initial.
But then I messed up Collapse like
Actually, I
1:30-ish
should've done
ahead.
the time we did yesterday. Oh well.
And I somehow just got this run the very next day. Yeah, Dampa was first trying this. Super important that you get ISG fast here. Otherwise, that's gonna turn into a real bad time real quick. Pro tip, I don't think it works on rando, I'm not sure, but if you hold down your stick when the fight starts, Bongo will always go in
The
front of
boss
Link.
in Tower of the Gods and then Wicker is like Bongo at home.
So they're kind of
Such a
manipulating
downgrade
where
to the goats.
Bongo's going at the start there. Here's a neat setup to get in position for the walk-in.
Ooh.
That was fast, that was clean. Those are frame perfect, so they're really scary. Basically, it's the first frame where Link like takes a step, which is like 3 frames after moving the stick enough. Oh yeah, it's always unbuffered. You have to, like, CFG's run is so good. And there hasn't been a ton of like huge time save. The biggest one is just early bow with the hookshot jumping forest. Since he ran it. His run holds up so well still, but we're like 3 minutes ahead of that run now. And it's all just because of, you know, pushing it, minimal mistakes allowed. It'd be really cool if he came back.
I hate that movement.
Because I feel like it's a new bar now. Here's a cute setup I made. I actually need to practice this because it took some time here to get in position. I think that might have worked, but I'm not sure. So I did like a couple
Well
extra.
down there, but I wanted to make sure I was in position. The first position that I got there would have worked fine.
Yeah. A 343 is doable. This run was on pace for it until Spirit, you'll see. So, cool thing there, if I pull a bomb, I basically prevent Link from ledge grabbing. It's just a tiny time save. Since we just got 40 bombs, we can use them pretty carelessly. It's a lot of bombs. Don't have to worry about bomb count for the rest of the run. So setting for his win there is important, and it has to be from that side, coming from Kokiri Forest. That's why I left and then I entered, just to set for his win and then left again. It's because of the entrance point I'm setting for his win for upcoming Wrong Warp. So, classic Deku has... This was really sketch, I remember. Let's see. I got the second frame, so I had to do the backup, where you go ESS left and then right really fast. Oh, what the fuck? That was terrifying. I thought I missed it. Normally you can see Link, because he'll like snapping bounce, scary, but I somehow hit the low trigger without like getting inside the Deku Tree's mouth. Yeah, dude, it was just black screen. I thought I missed it. Terrifying. Well, here you can do
I'm gonna fail it. The best to fail on the first door.
Yeah, you can skip this tutorial text on how to open doors by pressing A frame perfectly after a side up. It's best, if you're gonna fail it, it's best to do it on the first door, because if you skip it on the first door and then fail it on the next...
All it takes is one trick to fail, and it doesn't matter what lead you have.
You basically would have saved more on failing it on the first. Because both doors in Deku Tree have that tutorial, but you only have to read it once.
I lost a run yesterday, 5 minutes away. A minute 20 ahead. It's not over till it's over.
Yeah, up to this point, it was pace for 343. Deku Tree is pretty cool. Have a good one, Kaden. Take care. I don't think I have to aim there to adjust. I gotta look into that. Here's a new strat I made for Deku Tree. Turns out it's faster than jump stashing on the wall to land on the second floor. It's a lot unfortunate I missed ISG there, but got it eventually. And here's good old crawl space skip. Frame perfect there. Have to be on the 0th frame of dropping and backflipping on the same frame. And that's
interesting.
The first time I've bonked there, which made me panic a little bit.
I haven't bonked there before. Didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah, that was scary. Here's a very, very difficult trick, just because of how long it takes if you fail it to set up again. So we set ISG here. That has to be a flick turn, because the camera kind of spins with Link in this room, so you can't ESS turn or anything. It has to be a flick to get the angle you need. And then pull a chew. Since we have ISG, the bush next to us also breaks, which is good, because it needs to be broken. Otherwise the chew will just blow up where you're standing.
Oh my god, my mash was really weird there. I'm
sorry, and it worked. The drop frame is frame perfect, and the roll frame. And
shit.
You have 2 frames for the side up. So I basically roll and then I just mash and pray.
You're scaring me? You don't think I'm scared? I'm not just making random noises.
So yeah, Goma's gonna be demolished real quick. It's important that you kill Goma in that spot, because the blue orb's position will matter on that. Here's another one of those fun blue warps. Flick into it, press B. Those are frame perfect, by the way. You have to press first when on the first frame that Link moves when walking. It's scary, but it's almost scarier to press B like early. Move the stick. It's an analog input. Yeah, it's awkward. That left flick I've always been really consistent with. It's crazy that we matched that with PV, because that was actually a gold. Yeah, that used to be, that was a gold in the PV, and some stuff wasn't good, like I missed ISG and whatnot, but I still matched it. Alright, it's just time for the hardest dungeon. Bunch of practice paying off. So this split went horribly. The day before this, I actually golded here. A super good gold. But it kind of fell apart. I think I was really nervous. Even though I shouldn't have been, since it was going so well. I turned off TTS for the commentary soon. There before, and it takes you back to. Thank you for the 500 bits, though. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm actually traumatized. That's why that menuing in there looks really scuffed. CFG moment. Oh yeah, I was talking about what can happen there when you do the backwalk super slide. You can do a side roll if you press A too early when you're still in the backwalk phase and he's like slowing down to a standstill. And if you side roll there, you're gonna side roll into the chest, and usually you mash for the super slide. Kill the run. So I mean, how are you gonna get back here? I remember watching him opening Silver Gauntlet's chest, which is, it's scaring me every time just because he did it. Just knowing that it can happen, and usually everything that can happen will. I've killed runs to pretty much everything imaginable. Some of the blue warp skips, I'm just waiting for that to happen. There's cutscene skips, they're not actually wrong warps. Like it says shadow wrong warp, but it's technically a cutscene skip because it took me where I placed Furzwind. So Spirit, it's okay if you fail those, like during marathons. I think it's universally agreed between the runners that Spirit is the hardest. DC to Nocturne, Deku to Spirit. Every single trick in Spirit will lose you so much time. You gotta hit those. The void out trigger in Spirit is so far down that if you void out, you have to just wait for Link to fall forever. Kill a lot of runs here. And it was off to a rocky start. You'll see here when I start. This is, by the way, this is where the run, if you wait, hang on. If you look at the graph, look how that's steadily climbing super nicely. This is where it gets bad. That trick there is super scary. We do a super slide and then we like go, and when you let go of the super slide, Link like starts slowing down, but because he slows down, for whatever reason, Link clips. I'm not sure how those hover clips work. A bit strange, but you have to react to holding upright, and then I think you have 1 or 2 frames to backflip. It's probably 2 frames to backflip in bounce. Really tight anyway. It's one of the scariest parts of Spirits. Once you've cleared that, and then this part too, because if this shield flick here is more than 2 frames, you're gonna end up in the other room, but it's gonna be unloaded, and you're gonna lose like 40 seconds, because it's terrible. Here, this is just a room clear. I dealt with it pretty well. Look how I like smacked that keys. That's fine. That was like really bad, but I managed to make the best of it. So here, do some equips for later. I start getting sus here because this keys is targeting me, but as long as I'm moving with the bomb in my hand, I won't drop it. So I intentionally ran into it. Dude, okay. Could have been a little more generous with that hitbox. Yeah, that was... I gotta be more considerate when I hookshot there. I hate this weird shot. I don't do it backwalk style, even though I should. It's just... If you get a late frame, it puts you too far back and then you can't reach and you have to redo it. With the setup there, that doesn't happen. That was a bad shot too. There's a lot of sloppy stuff happening here. But this is the child side of Spirit. Nice, got the double side up. So we clear out the Skulltulus from that side. Really cool strat here. We used to just aim manually for this chest here coming up, but if you target that as you're hookshotting it, because it's a cardinal wall, it's a sticky, so it's going to give you a perfect straight angle. And then I keep that and just get in position with that angle still held. And that way I can just really fast set up for that mid cutscene hookshot thingy majingy. Ah, fuck. But yeah, all that stuff, and then here's the highlight of Spirit statue climb. I turn a little early here, so there's a cool backup you can do where you place the bomb and it puts you up on the arm. You can tell I'm really nervous. I'm not really sure why that didn't make me side up. I think I wasn't in the corner enough or something. But yeah, we used to mega flip here, but there's a faster way you can do the strat. I hope that works, man. It kind of sucks because it's based on your down right notch. You need a good notch down right for that shield turn to give you working angle. I failed there because I pressed A early, so I had to do a backup setup. I shouldn't have unbuffered it. It's okay though. Yeah, it's okay though. Run is alive, even though that's now one of my biggest time saves in the run. Second biggest time save. No, wait. I got really nervous about the third biggest time save. This split here is the second biggest time save. You'll see why. In case you haven't seen this before, a few years ago we used to clip Naburo using hookshot and then just having a bomb blow up as we're falling out of bounds. But by doing a setup there right at the start, we get broken stick. 9 stabs and then a slash sets up damage so that she's one bomb away from dying. So I time a bomb there, side up. It has to be perfectly climbing in the middle of the chair. And that makes it so that like, when Link jumps, he gets a glitchy ledge grab. And if you get glitchy ledge grab during that cutscene, Link will stay in the ledge grab state, right? But he gets teleported to where he's meant to be for his cue for the cutscene. And so when I kill Naburo there, I actually press A button because that makes Link release the ledge during the cutscene. It's very tight. I think there's 3 or 4 frames when Link is in that glitchy ledge grab state. I got 2nd frame, I think. One direction. But yeah, after hearing the one way or another, I don't think it's very hard because I've spent a lot of time with it, but it is scary because you lose a lot of time if you miss it. I think it's 40 or 50 seconds. You don't see how Spirit was bad? Well, I lost 20 seconds on Spirits, and this run was really good that losing 20 on Spirit was considered really bad. One direction. 1D. Hearts in the chat. Is it you? No. This went poorly. This was terrible. I'm really mad about this. I was practicing this, and I thought, you know what? It could be a smart idea to jump over to those plateaus on the outer sides, just so I don't get one of them flying behind me, because it's been happening a lot lately. So I do that, right? Coming up here. And you're gonna see just how frustratingly dumb this was. I shouldn't have done what I did here, but...
And the fire one doesn't have anything charged.
Of course, the bad stuff only really happens during real runs, right? So here, because there's a ledge in front of me,
okay,
the camera
that's
goes
so
overhead,
dumb, man. I tested that in
and it's like,
practice.
oh look,
I
what's
didn't
down
think the
here?
camera would go overhead just because of the ledge.
And
Oh
even
my
if I
God.
pressed target to go third person, it just stayed that way. I couldn't do anything.
That sucks, man. I was actually fast back.
Yeah, it was a double too, and I just wasted it. And then here this is just me being bad.
I'm gonna scream.
Yeah, I shouldn't have missed
I
that shot.
So hard.
That was just me. Skill issue. But yeah, I was really nervous too. So I can save like at least 20 here.
Oof, man.
Like
That was
50
terrible.
seconds total in spirits,
losing
realistically.
A bit of time here.
Being reasonable with the time save. Here I'm trying to do a thing where I block Twinrova from moving to any platform. It's a 1 in 3 times 1 in 3, so I think it's a 1 in 9. I forget how it works, but essentially I'm close enough to one of the platforms that Twinrova is trying to go to. And so if she picks that one, she'll then do, okay, which one do I go from here? And if she decides to go to the one in front of her, which is where she's already at, she just won't move. Because she basically
fight so much.
moved, blocked, chose the chose platform, chose the one she's already on, doesn't move. It's a really cool strat, but it's, as you'd imagine, rare.
So weird. You can test something in practice like 100 times, even thousands, and you'll never encounter the bullshit you'll encounter when you're actually doing a run.
True. Damn, that's so relatable. But yeah, check out this next split. Dude, I've been cooking these strats, and a lot of splits that I have are just waiting for it to be like everything just clicking. Like there's just golds waiting because I just haven't had a solid non-mistake split on some of them. And finally, this get caught split, it clicked and it was really nice. Yeah, that's if you go early by frame. It's so terrifying, man, because then you have to redo it.
The confidence, come on.
And, oh my, I hate it. You really just gotta believe in the stick flick and the B press. So setting first wind here once again. This is why we grab the key on the hand for the statue. It's just to grab the Skulltula. It's annoyingly out of the way. No, Dampa was first trying this. So first swing back. Here it gets really cool. Do a Hess here. I paused a little early. I tried to make it so I land on the heart piece, but that's also kind of risky because if you don't, you're gonna miss and you'll wanna smash your Wii to bits. Anyway, I looked into the codes how the levers spawn, and they spawn a certain way, and then there's a cooldown, and that's always the case. So I'm actually counting the spawns here to make sure that I'm getting the cooldown when I want it. So right when I got here, it was perfect. All calculated. Backflip gets me out of the sand, pull bomb. perfectly get there on time.
Finally it worked.
Oh. So nice when it works. What are you playing from now on? I'm gonna keep doing this because I'm doing this run at ESA in July. Between the 20th and the 27th. I don't have a schedule for it yet, but after I'm done doing my run at the marathon, we'll see. Until then, I'm gonna keep trying to improve world record because even though I'm really happy about my run,
Oh man.
it's super bittersweet because later on there's gonna be some really stupid stuff, and like I could have PB'd by like a minute and a half more than I did. So I'm really happy to have the run, but bittersweet knowing what could have been. So intentional movement here. We pull bomb, and I intentionally wait a split second there, only because if I start backwalking back right away, the second batch of levers is gonna spawn, and you're gonna end up targeting during the Hess, which drops the Hess. Here's a classic reverse wasteland Hess. It's no biggie. This stuff is child's play compared to other stuff. Just jump down here for the Skulltula. Fun fact, this one is one of the two Skulltulas that's in both timelines. It's shared. The one in the Death Mountain Trail, you can get as child and adult. And this one, I don't know if it's intentional. But yeah, do a setup here depending what frame I get on the Hess. And mid-turn right there, I actually press Ocarina, and that halves my Hess speed. Oh, not quite. It drops it from 18 to 10, but by dropping my speed, I can make it across the gap there without lifting off the ground and killing the Hess.
Nice 4-second gold. Take that.
You can make it across at full speed, but it's super tight. It would save like 3 seconds though. It's just insanely tight and stupid to go for. Here we can clip up on top of the jail. Getting caught there is very important because, funnily enough, getting caught there toggles the same flag as having watched the collapse cutscene. If you get on top of the tower, Ganis Tower, it actually untoggles that so that you're forced to watch the collapse cutscene. But since we never end up on top of the tower, it just stays checked, so we never watch the collapse cutscene. That bomb drop there is just optimization to get rid of the crate, just so I can cut the corner later. Store a jump slash there. The reason the guard didn't catch me, by the way, even though I was right in front of her, is just during nighttime their vision is like halved. It's like super poor, they can barely see. And that counts for the ones that are indoors too. If it stays by the torch, I'll just keep spamming nut. Yeah, that didn't go the way I wanted to. Just keep nutting her, so she stays obedient. Nighttime inside makes sense. Well, I mean, they're tired, right? Also, thanks for the 9 months, Lucy. Appreciate it. Thanks for congrats. Enjoy your new badge. Right there. Dropping that bomb just so I can beat that guy. Yeah, so I looked into the code how this guard works, like what makes her guard and not guard, because sometimes it feels seemingly random and sometimes it doesn't. And it's the most stupid way ever. Basically, there's a line in the code that says, if the global frame counter is odd, block. So, like right there. I can't see it. That was basically luck, because I just happened to be on odd. It's a 50-50. So technically, if you did the exact same movement every single time, you could make that consistent, but you're not gonna do that. No, it's an odd frame number you have to be on. Not even. Even is bad. Even when she starts jumping around. I don't know what happens here. I think it was bad. 1, 2. Yep, she was like, I'm just gonna do some somersaults. That was sick. Dude, I'm so fucking good unintentionally. Yeah, that nutted and he did that dab shit, and that was actually sick. Stick go to the right. So like the nutting animation. When Link nutted, the stick pointed to the right because he does that weird dab shit, and that just hit her perfectly. Because you have to nut to her left side. Same with Shadow Link. Otherwise, she won't get stunned. But yeah, that was real gamer shit. Deku Nuts is one of the best items in the game. It's so crazy how we all just ignored it, playing it as a kid. Dude. Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, not good. Alright, we're gonna lose a few seconds here. The race against Glitchimon is when I go to the split. Yep. So if you want to see a good split, you can go look at that. I had my splits, auto split running during that. I hid the splits, but I just had it just in case I would gold. Oh yeah, lost some time there. So we used to set first win in the jail cell, and then we would put Master Sword on our B button. That was a very long time ago. But the better way is to keep first win on B, and then you're using stick ISG, which is a lot more inconsistent, as you can see with the guard shenanigans. So here something really dumb happened. I pressed target thinking that the angle I got entering there was the same angle as the fence in front of me, so I didn't retarget. Turns out it wasn't. Never keeping whatever angle I have through the door. Yeah, the weird shots, it has to... And if I had just targeted the fence, you need a specific angle depending on the area you're in for weird shots to work. It's crazy. I was trying to be cute. Yeah, that's why you never do stuff you have never practiced before. It always backfires. But yeah, the clip into the training runs actually saves quite a bit. It's like 7 seconds because you don't have to buy and wait for the gate to open. It is frame perfect though, so it's really nice when you nail it. Had I not missed the weird shot in the first try there, this would have been a gold split. But yeah, used to call Epona from below and then ride her all the way. What direction I look in here? Turns out it's faster to just hess up there and then call on her because she's so slow to like rev up. Because Epona will always spawn off camera. So if I can get Epona to like park in front of here, I don't have to move her at all. That's good. Okay. Even though I struggle getting on. Saves 2 seconds overall. So first archery game, we're just trying to get 1,000 points. Cool discovery that I made here. You can save 2 seconds if your last arrow is the one that crosses the threshold. Because the game checks for Link's arrow count, and it's like, oh, Link ran out of arrows, end the minigame. But then, since the last arrow is traveling midair and hits the final point, you still get the reward. So it doesn't play that celebration jingle, which means you save 2 seconds. But it's scary to go for, because you have to, like, if you have good aim, you have to intentionally miss and like make the final arrows cross the threshold. Like, I used to get it back in the day just because I was so bad at aiming that I would just barely get it. Turns out it actually saved time that way. And all this was based on superstition.
No, I did not save the 2 seconds.
And I thought, chat thought I was crazy, but
I would have said so.
then I spent like 3 hours understanding it. And we finally figured it out. So yeah, I don't know how that trick works. Something with the... something. I had Danny B write a script for me on how it works. I'm gonna have to read it after stream for ESA. But basically what happened there was I finished the archery game over 1500 points, which is meant to give me a quiver.
If Epona does that nay thing,
but it doesn't give me a quiver yet.
It's completely
until I RBA fish over Kujiro, which changes my quiver. Because I don't have one at the time. And so RBA and Kujiro puts a weird glitch quiver, and the game's like, oh, time for reward. But I press target so that Garuda Lady only shows up for a frame as the camera spins around. That way I'm getting the reward, but not setting the flag. So I can do it again after I reload the area to get the max quiver. Because it doesn't matter where the first quiver is from. Only like the final upgrades has to be from source. I think it would still count as source though, but yeah. Getting the reward, not making sure she doesn't know that she's giving the reward.
Shot, but still,
it's like the dementia glitch. But yeah, after that part, now the run kind of slows down in intensity, and here is where it starts going south, unfortunately. It's really easy to get too comfortable, because there's like constant tricks back to back to back to back, and then suddenly we're just waiting for 5 minutes.
What do we do? Archery 3
I don't know, I find it really easy to be thrown off.
Heart piece, you need over 1,000 points, and then you need 1,500 for quiver upgrade. And I do a glitch where I get the first quiver upgrade, but I don't set the flag, so the Garuda Lady doesn't know that I've already done that reward. So I just do it again, and then it's like,
I just explained this.
The next reward. There's a lot of wacky stuff happening there. We can just... Let's just not mention anything about the spooky mask. That's a whole different thing.
No, you can't have someone else mash for you. I don't know what would happen, if it would just be disqualified or if it would be 2 runners sharing the run. I think there's some rule that it has to be. Because otherwise, like, at what point is it a different thing to have like your AI robot doll waifu do it for you? But yeah, not much happening here. Funny thing, there was actually a pretty recent discovery just like a month ago or 2 to skip half of this wrong warp by skipping half of this cutscene by wrong warping into it, the second half. And you could like do it as Child Link, where you would wrong warp from Deku Tree into second half of Light Arrow cutscene, and that would be how you get into Adult 1. I think that would be a sick route.
But yeah, there's tons of new stuff. We might be playing on the IQ, which is a Chinese console, because we might not need Stick as Adult anymore. Which is the only reason we're on BC. It's just because it doesn't crash on that. There's a lot. There's just too much, and there's not enough people with the brains to route. There's like one person who like has it all figured out. But I mean, they also have a life outside of Ocarina of Time research. Someone's posting a lighter emote in the chat. Must be from some randomizer streamer. They always get so excited when they get lighters. I need another drink. Randomizer streamer means CFG? Dang, I guess so. Does he have like a goal with randomizers? Like what's the... Like I really like working towards something. So doing randomizers every day, I don't know if... It would feel kind of monotonous. Says the speedrunner doing the same thing every day. But at least, you know, I have a goal. Okay, so during that cutscene, there's a flashback with Zelda riding with Sheik away from the castle, and that actually isn't just a flashback. It genuinely goes back in time and makes you Child Link, which means Bottle Adventure is gonna trigger. And since we just got Quiver upgrade, the max one, that gives us 50 arrows, I believe. And that's the value for Saw. Like it's just also perfectly planned out. I messed up that clip, which, like, this is where it gets really sloppy, unfortunately. When we get to the cutscene with Ocarina of Time, Child 3, after Graveyard and Saria, someone remind me to get ready to take the notes thing for the Ocarina game, because that's like the last, you know, downtime I'll have to do that. It's really unfortunate because I felt I was on my toes the whole run, and then final stretch I really just felt it all disappearing and the focus started fading real bad. But I've lost so many runs in the final hour just due to sloppiness that I'm so glad I managed to pull through. It's been a real mental block. Yeah, the moment you release bugs, they do whatever. They even twist and turn mid-air, which actually does change the direction they fall in. It's like even after falling, they can decide to just fall like away or like any direction.
Which is why I
gonna lose some
tend
time
to
on
drop
this, but
bugs very
unfortunately,
close to the hole so that at least one of them insta digs. Yes, because you can lose like so much time if they just mess around, walk around in circles. But yeah, the check for Rainbow Bridge is Shadow Medallion and Spirit Medallion, and we have both of those. We don't have Fire Medallion yet. We're saving that for last. And we're only going this way because we really want Gold Gauntlets just for 100% requirement. This is why we don't get Silver Gauntlets, by the way, because Gold Gauntlets would just overwrite. I need to work on this section actually. Let me make a note. Dude. Ah my god, it's so sketchy because it's easy to just run off. Whatever. So here, equips up Stick and Froze Wind. Because Ganon's castle isn't considered a dungeon, only the main tower, I can do this trial skip here by getting high enough up. Because the devs have a leftover load zone here. But it's flush against the wall. And so like, since it's on an angle, you basically need Link to be over it, right? And to be over it, you need to basically be high enough to where he's considered over the low trigger, if that makes sense. It's not like a low trigger at a certain height. It's more like Link needs to be a certain height to count as being over it. Stop. So the first hover there was too short, unfortunately. Different movement here that I made. Mostly because I don't like the old strat of targeting the tent. That side of the tent has 2 polygons and you have to target the one on the right, and it's awkward and I hate it. And you don't want to miss this mega flip. The hover there is just to get into the main part of the tower, because in the main part of the tower, Froze Wind becomes active. Since we no longer have it on B. We have Saw instead. Using the angle from the Skulltula, ESS turn left puts me perfectly for the mega flip there. And then save warp. And when you save warp with anything but sword on B, we'll lose some time here. It puts stick on B. I'm not sure why, but I should probably look it up so I can explain it. It might be that your inventory always starts the cursor on stick after save warp, or like when you pause in areas, I don't know. But yeah, this is why I break sticks throughout the run. It's just so I don't have too many here. Optimally I would have like 2 here, so like I have a backup one in case I missed that frame on the recoil. But 3 is fine. And only putting fish on B there just to set up glitched eye drops later with Bottle Adventure. But yeah, went from 3 minutes ahead down to 2:12. I hate playing this song fast. It's the hardest thing ever. Child 3 is where I have all my time save. Throughout the whole run, I've been playing around between 5 and 10 seconds off gold. Like there's... most of the time save is just non-existent. Yeah, Rich. Thanks, man. So we go here, give Spooky Mask to the kid. Only to advance the trade quest. Then we warp 2 minuets. This is Child 3 is horrible, man. It's so bad. It's the most boring thing ever, and it's pure torture to get through. I'm so sweaty, man. Yeah, it was.
What do I do? Ah, I just pressed the wrong thing.
Tiny things here and there. Yeah, like this category is, I'd say, pinnacle of OT speedrunning. It's more optimized than the shorter categories and has less room for mistakes.
I lowered my AC.
Like if we're counting it on average. But I mean, it's also the best category for sure. It has so many cool tricks to show off. Running anything else feels really unfulfilling when you do 100%. But if I would do a different category, I think I want to learn MST, because it's like the second best thing. And it's only like under 2 hours, so a lot more realistic to keep focus for 2 hours than 4. But yeah. Now we get Bunny Hood. And then we have another fun cutscene. Yeah, like to put in perspective, I like to, this is a good way to think of it. I started speedrunning December 2018, and in October or September 2019, I was 4th place in this category. Like less than a year of running it with no previous runs or anything, I started with this category.
It's kind of funny.
But getting from 4th place
low entrance speed, he would
to
actually
1st place, it's such a huge gap. I got 1st place for the first time in 2022, and then I started running for world record again seriously in August. It's been almost a year now, and I finally PB'd. It just took a lot of time.
Like, thanks.
Getting muscle memory for a bunch of new stuff that I kept adding new stuff, and there was no muscle memory for it, so I would kill runs to the new stuff that I'd made. But finally, I feel really confident, and I think I can beat this. I just need, you know, I need Raru and all the other sages praying on my side that fishing and damp is good.
I got it, don't worry.
The run the day before this that got the collapse was technically better, because that one was a minute 30 ahead, and I had 6 try damp it, which lost me a minute 10.
Dude, he really
So
takes his time to wait
if
for
that
the
run
cue
had
for
been
you to
first
speed.
try and I'd played that way, you know, it would have been a
Just looking
240
straight
PB.
forward. Like, why would he even stop and just look forward like that? Like, did he forget something in the castle? Leave the oven on?
But
He's thinking if he left the stove on.
I feel pretty excited to try and beat it.
Did he lock the
And
door?
I feel less stressed too, because now I have a run on the board that I'm happy with, that represent me. The run from 2022 was super dated, and people would use that to like learn the routes, and I was like, don't do those old strats. I have a bunch of new good ones. Clothes that you were wearing while PB on eBay. I mean,
Green
Ocarina of
Buns all
Time
rides off
world
too.
record beats all.
No clue.
I don't think anyone wants to buy my clothes that I was wearing during Ocarina of Time world record. There's a frame perfect thing you can do here. I missed it, as you can see
I'm
there.
just gonna go all the
But you
way.
can basically grab that.
I missed a quick grab.
Without
I'm not gonna
diving
sit
all the
here
way.
and fail it 10 times in a row. We're just gonna Take the L. Yeah, I have a rule where if I miss it, I'm just not going for it again, because that's a long widescreen, man. I thought my game crashed. It would be classic OT to just miss something over and over and over, just because you're stubborn. You wonder how many individual glitches are in this? I've been thinking of that. It's a hard thing to consider, because what do you consider an individual glitch? Because there's mega flips, right? But then there's the mega flip into the alcove in Gerudo Valley, for example, which has a setup. Are those two separate tricks, or is it just a mega flip? You know, because a lot of tricks is just a bunch of base tricks put together for a certain thing to happen. So I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, so this is where Child 3 gets, at least you get to play the game and it's not horrible torture. It's crazy to think this is the final 40 minutes of the run. It feels like 10 years. I do a cool thing here. It's not new, but it is different from what CFG used to do if you watched him back in the day. I quick swap Bunnyhood because I'm gonna do something called Mask of Truth tech skip. Made it. Which is basically just once you finish the mask quest, which is Bunnyhood, the last one now, the shopkeeper or salesman, it talks forever and you lose so much time. You're just sitting there talking. But if you have something in the mask slot, the game will think, oh, he has a mask, he's here to get a new one. So it won't actually have him congratulate you, but Mask of Truth will be in the shop, so you can just pick it up immediately. Also a bonus thing, I get to pull out Bunnyhood here. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner, because the stall children actually don't even spawn at nighttime when they're out, which is why I put them on before the first Hess to the grotto. It actually has a really good use. Because if those spawn when you Hess, the Hess will drop because you'll end up targeting them. Here's a cool strat that I made. It kind of sucks because it depends on how the bugs are gonna play nice or not. So avoiding the pot on the right because that has a magic drop, and I want to avoid magic because if I grab it for the first time, it'll play that animation where Link puts it above his head. So if I can just avoid that, I'll never have to watch it and save 2 seconds. But here, not very clean, but we got it. I catch bugs over the Bunnyhood. So now I have bugs on that slot. And that's enough for the game to think that it's a mask. Or like, there's a mask in that slot. Because it was sold out before I put bugs over it, even though I still had Bunnyhood on my C button. It's really cool anyway. And because I don't really need that slot, I don't need to recatch these bugs. That's why I caught them in 2 bottles there. Because I'm hoping for an insta-dig on the next soil patch. That was a little sketchy. I wasn't sure about my angle, so I didn't set up all the way. Here you can kill the run very easily. I haven't done it in years, and I hope to never do it ever again. Just recoil off that, and then drop the bugs. Oh, nice, perfect. First as intended, the jump slash onto the back up to the plateau. No, that was me pressing B early because anything but pressing it late.
But yeah, you'll see now when I speak to the salesman. There's just one text which is just welcome, and then you can just pick it up immediately. And I saved 2 seconds, which was super nice, because that's very hard to be consistent on. And then we have the market mini games. Here's some Swedish sniper moment. I don't know why I did that. I felt like my B button...
I had a brain fart for a sec there.
Yeah, my B button was jamming throughout the run. I actually changed my top shell on my controller today before stream. And it's been a lot better.
Come on, be nice.
It's gonna bite me later on the next splits. That's where I have my biggest time save now. You'll see in a bit. This is also one of my biggest time saves because that's the worst reward to get.
That's actually worst RNG.
It goes...
Oh man.
Wait, no, that's second worst. It's bomb bag, rupee, chew, heart piece. So I got second worst there. Because the first item is random, but it's always on the same cycle. I have a cool setup here where I use the explosion of the chew to get the angle I want. And then I can just pre-fire the last one. You don't need bomb bag. We already have max bomb bag. If we get that one, we will actually downgrade our bomb bag and invalidate our run. Same thing in the sculptural house. If we talk to the last guy in the bottom right corner, he'll actually downgrade our wallet because we already have Giant's wallet from the other guy. And here, that was really good. I've noticed you can actually lose quite a lot of time to that Richard dog if he's like looking towards the wall and like slowly rotating to follow you. But that was good. He was looking on our direction. Here I had a brain fart. I held like full left, but I was meant to hold up left.
Oh my god, please.
Oh, actually, I gotta look into this because it feels so hard to do this fast.
All down. Nope. And milk.
Besides the end, when were you most nervous? I don't know. I was really scared in Shadow when I did
yeah, PB had worse RNG too.
Unbuffered
so we could have saved
truth
20 extra seconds on top of that.
It's a very hard trick and it takes a really long time to set up, so if you miss it, it's an instant huge time loss. But yeah, this is painful to watch, man. I looked back frame by frame to see what really happened, and I do these RBAs unbuffered because I have 2 frames for it, but somehow my B press was super mushy, and so the B press here was late on the first one here. Press that one late. And the bugs dug. Little did I know that they actually didn't even dig in the hole. They just digged outside it because I'm cursed. And then I tried to set up RB again, but I pressed B late again.
I'm pressing B late or something.
And I start losing all confidence.
They didn't even dig. Are you serious?
And I realized that they didn't dig, so I have to put them there
that's
again.
Just unlucky. What the fuck?
Because I could just do this RVA like later on the next world patch. But like that time I pressed it early. I don't know what's happening, man. Why is this failing? I have like one more attempt. Yeah, dude. What the fuck? Why is my B button bad now? Oh my god. I thought it was over at this point. And now I'm so unsure about everything that I'm pause buffering for the only frame that's like confirmed to work, which is the crooked one. I'm so upset. But yeah, that's the first time that's ever happened. And now there's a 50-second time save on the split, 52, which is insane for world recording with such a big time save just sitting there. No, my time shirt says Mania Devois. I think that I said it right. I'm not sure. It's French. French brand. Cool setup here. I don't remember if I messed it up or not. I think I got it. I dropped a bomb there to cook it. This is one of the first strats I actually made. It was way too hard for me though, back when I made it. I wasn't able to confidently Hess off it like that. Yeah, Circus, we're watching it back. This is the split where I have my biggest time save. Oh no. So, one of you. We're catching 2 of these bugs. Jesus Christ. And the third one has to dig. And I just got like the slowest possible bug there. It's like, it's just so sad. Sometimes the bug can just straight up run off the cliff too, which is just so stupid. Like, I hate Child 3. The bugs are just absolutely bugging. Equip fire arrows here because we have bugs on B, and dropping bugs on B with fire arrows doesn't do anything that affects our inventory. It just gives us Fire Temple map. So you'll see in Fire Temple I actually have the dungeon map. Second reason is that it functions as slingshot when you have it as child. So I can use it for this. Nice. It's the tilt setting in. I'm super unsure about everything. It all just feels like I'm on ice. And then we have this nerve-wracking thing. So on the GameCube controller, C-stick, I only use it for C-up. Could have done a 360 on my C-stick there. Yeah, those nodes lined up for like a full spin. That would have been sick, but these nodes, you need like a, I think 3 frames they need to be apart. So what's scary here is just not like playing it wrong. It's just, you know, playing it and then actually registering, because it's easy to have one of the buttons still pressed when you press another one, because you're pressing it so fast, so that the other one doesn't even register, because the one you're already holding still takes priority. So you gotta play it fast, but also not too fast to where you're risking that, but then also, you know, not lose a bunch of time. I don't know. I've killed a run here a long time ago where I failed the last notes on the last song, which is like a minute. Yeah, I have a website now, or there is a website where you can just click on the notes. I think I played this fast. Well, sort of fast. It was Song of Storms-ish. I hate every song that comes with C up, just because of the stick flick. I'm always worried I'm gonna go like upright and there'll be a C right. Or C left. Dude, I was having struggle just focusing on the notes. There was so many things going through my head at that point. Like, I was worried I was gonna zone out and just do like some other song, just due to muscle memory. But yeah. 52 seconds lost on that. And that's a split that's waiting on a good gold, because all the strats there have not lined up for me yet. And yeah, that's the tilt. It all falls apart. Come on, in the hole. Like, what is this? Come on, man. Just slow bugs everywhere. Good thing we don't have to recatch those. Okay. Dude, I don't know what's happening. I just lost all my mojo. No, it wasn't in CAC. It was here. Kokiri. Kokiri 4 is lost 52 seconds because I had to redo RBA 4 times. And bugs being slow, all that. You're getting second hand tilts? Yeah. Dude, this shit sucked. Because the problem was my top shell, one of the screws, the bottom left part of the controller, it wasn't holding the controller at all. So the controller was loose. The top shell was moving around. So whenever I would get in a notch, it would slightly like rotate the shell because it wasn't like fully locked. I couldn't trust my cardinal inputs. Everything was just like worrying me. But I've swapped out the shell to one that's good now. I would have done it sooner, but my controllers that I ordered arrived today, so. Also, this part, I don't have like a set order that I go in. I always just do whatever I can think of just before. There's been times where I've been like, holy shit, which song have I not played yet? Because I always think of it just before. And it's so bad. So yeah, I was like, Lullaby? Or no, Epona. Epona song. I wonder if Clint Stevens will see this. If Clint AI ever comes back, I got some new, fresh footage. So this minigame, there's 2 rewards. There's one for playing Song of Storms, that makes it rain, makes the frogs go really happy. And then there's the one where you play all the non-warp songs, and that makes all the frogs big. And what you're meant to do here is look at the butterflies that are flying, because each frog corresponds to a note, which this whole heart piece thing was like it's probably arguably the hardest one in the whole game. Like, especially because I played this as a kid and I couldn't read English because it's not my first language. So I was using like a Swedish guidebook, but it was still. This one was probably the one I never got until I was older. A little bit scary, that jump slash there. It's pretty easy to fall off there. I have killed runs to it before. But yeah, I played Sunsong there because I'm setting myself up for a timing thing with the Goron sword. It's all to save a Sunsong. It's a little odd, but from the moment I play that Sunsong there to getting Big Goron sword, it's all like one split, which is why I don't have an adult 3 split anymore. Since what I do here will affect what happens in adult 3. And since I play Sunsong so early there, I thought failing this super slide would be really, really bad, and that I wouldn't make it in time.
It's kind of bad.
World record was Sunday, 2 days ago.
Ah, dude.
Yeah, like look at this shit. What are they doing? You saw how I read the sword
I'm
patch
not even
there?
sure.
That was to stall time of day. It's a
Oh my
200 billion IQ strat. Oh yeah, the thing with the owl, I didn't explain that. Having ground jump stored keeps you from triggering the owl. So I get ISG and then ground storage or ground jump. That way I can still deal damage. Because when you're in the ground jump stored state, you can't do anything until you've cancelled it. So ISG off bomb as you also store ground jump. But yeah, I put giant. Wait, what's it called? Goron handle. What is it called? The trade item. The Goron sword handle. Goron hilt? Is it actually called Goron hilt? Dude, I have no idea. Anyway, I put that on C, right? And that points to a really high value. 240 something. Which is what I have on my B buttons now. B button. You can see how it just looks like a mess.
Hate that.
It's actually has the same attribute as eye drops. So we just call it glitched eye drops. But the way the trade quest works is we still need that hilt before we can give eye drops.
Tighter than it looks.
Goron shaft. Also the hover boots roll that I did towards that rock thing was really close to failing. Had I gone in the lava there, this would not have world recorded. But yeah, this is all with the Sunsong in Child 3.
Please. Please don't.
You see the sun in the back? How it's
I can see the sun. Is that
yeah,
bad?
it's crawling up.
Is that GG?
And between him
Please
finishing the
don't cut those.
text
Oh
and
my
giving the
God.
item,
I beg-
time of day moves for like a few
That'd
frames.
be so lame.
And you can turn day between that. So now I'm just like holding my breath. You saw
Oh
the
my
sun?
God. Wait, we're
Yeah.
fine.
Like right after, it was so close.
God, that was so cringe.
If you miss that, you have to play Song twice, which is 20 seconds lost. The reason why is he tells you to wait 3 days or some shit, but it's actually just going from night to morning that matters. So it turns morning, that counts as 1, and then it's just, you know, do Sunsong 4 times, and you're set. So in total, playing the Sunsong in River saves 1 Sunsong. Assuming that you get it. But yeah, that was really tight. And it was super important that I got it. Only like 3 seconds off goal there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dude, I can't believe this split was still not even that far off gold with all that stuff that happened. Alright, final temple. It's definitely a hard temple. It's really easy to lose time on it. It's not hard in the way where
Dude,
Spirit's
what
hard.
the fuck? Come on,
Because if you
man.
fail Spirit tricks, you like
practiced that
void out and
earlier.
lose 40 seconds at least. But it's easy to still have a bunch of time loss add up to failing Hesses and whatnot. Here's a trick that's frame perfect. I throw Boomerang, I pull out trade item, I open the door on the first possible frame. That makes it so that Link keeps looking at the Boomerang, and by keeping Darunia off screen, the cutscene here never starts because it's tied to looking at him. So we're just... That was like kind of close to actually triggering it there, but I've done it so many times, I've a pretty good idea of how lenient it is. Broken Goron Sword. Oh, okay. I've tried to optimize that movement. There's not much you can do. It's just one of those awkward places. But fortunately that's like the only place, because then the rest is just constant tricks. It's a cool setup. It's very precise. When I flick up there, I have to make sure I don't take a step, because then it's not going to work. And you have to be really quick with the Skulltula. Make it before the platform hits you. So with Goron Tunic, you can be on lava without taking damage, but eventually you do take damage. So right there, you saw I hit that piece of land, that corner. Like, shortly after that, I would have taken damage from the lava. But by hitting that piece of land, I reset the timer. With Kokiri Sword, you can't even Hess on lava, because you'll instantly take fire damage, and it'll just stop the Hess. But yeah, you have to hit that corner for the Hess to go all the way. And I'm really nervous here. Trying to remind myself to breathe. Small optimization there. I just drop a bomb to unequip long shot so I can push the block faster. Here's a cool strat that I originally got from watching, I think, MST? Forget which one it was, but it's really nice. I love it. Actual World Record in Hundo? Yes, sir. You're watching it, the replay. So funny thing about that, bombs behave different when you pull them midair. They interact with Link, like collision-wise, differently. Where the fuck's my Pepsi? Oh yeah, I was really thirsty here. But yeah, I have to pull the bomb midair, which is what that side up was for after I climbed up. Otherwise the clip doesn't work. That's just classic OT. Being a little quirky. I messed up this Hess, which I'm sad about, because I usually tend to get it every time when I practice it. If you time your first win, press here after dropping the Hess. Okay, that was really weird. Yeah. I tried to do it on the same frame I activate the switch, which sets it during that opening gate cutscene, and that takes 60 frames, so 3 seconds you would save. Because you can move instead of being locked to just watching it. What is chat talking about? I only drink cum. I love cum. I'm so wrecked right now. I also drink my sperm. Cum the best. Okay. Text transfer glitch? No. It's a mess to set up. Because if we did do it, we would do text transfer glitch using Dinrod. But if we're setting up Dinrod, we might as well just reroute the whole fucking thing. Which is a lot of work. A little scary jump there. You don't want to jump off there and miss that. That would be very sad. That's a sticky wall, so when I target it, I snap towards its angle. And then we have a cool Axel strat here. Don't tell anyone. And then, thank God. Okay, good. I actually spun my stick like I meant to. This is the first time ever I've finished a full run and never touched a magic drop. That room there, those slug things all have super high chance to drop a magic drop. So that's like, you avoid magic the entire run just to get like bombarded with them at the very end. Cool Hess here. It's very clean. So the reason I unequipped the Gorn Sword earlier is actually because only Master Sword deals anything but 1 damage. So if you're using Big Gorn Sword on this guy, oh man, you might as well use Kokiri Sword. When I walk into him while after poking him, I'm just trying to stand in his way so he like stops his little tantrum he throws after you hit him. Cool strat I got from Marco. Lock in that angle before you climb and then you keep it after. Alright, this shit sucks. I don't even want to watch this. This is the OOT nervous panic thing happening live action. I jump off there because I don't trust my inputs, and I'm like, this is a kid's game. There's no way the timer is that tight. I should still be able to make it, and I did, thankfully. Fun. That was that was going on in my head there because I actually didn't know how much time I had because I've never done that before. And I clutch side up away from that. Another Axel setup. Sending it. Also, I stopped looking at chat at Ocarina game because the Ocarina, like what I was doing my notes was covering chat and I just kind of kept it there. Are you able to hookshot the chest? I tried to, it's not faster though. You can hookshot it when you're like halfway up, otherwise you don't reach. You can open it without taking down the flame wall, but it's precise, and when I was testing it, there was no way you were going to get in position fast enough to make it save time. So here, very important I got a super good spawn here. I got really lucky with this one. 7 chew hits, and I stab him. Since I have hammer jump slash stored, the stab brings down Volvagia. Do 1 more chew, because I can get like 6 in, but if I try for 7, the fire will hit me, which is not fun. But yeah, 1 cycle is something I was really terrible for a long time. But I practiced every hole, even the one far back right I can do. What's the hardest trick in the run? I don't know. I don't think there's such a thing. I do Shadow Temple on Buffered with the Truth Spinner, Mega Flip, Skip, and Triple Bomb Stack, and the Hess. So Shadow is really hard. Spirit's really hard too, because I do a bunch of super scary strats there. But yeah, just OI here to start the wrong warp. And then here, I hold full left, and then for a certain frame, I have to let go, and then I have to pause again. I have 2 frames, because I have a backup if I get a late frame there. So that was the first frame, which was good. It's the fast one. And then I line up so that I press target and hammer on the same frame. And that way Link swings and the camera turns just perfectly enough to where it gets frame perfect, and it sends me here, which is the first section, I believe, when you go indoors after the tower is collapsing with Zelda. And this is one of the hardest tricks in the run. I'm really consistent at it, but the day before this, I failed this on a run that was a minute 30 ahead, so... Look at my reaction here. I couldn't even breathe. I was pushing out air because I was so tensed up. I'm not doing the super side here. Fuck that. I just go. Dude, you can hear how terrified I am in my voice. You don't know if you've finished a run or not until that trick. And those hovers are so insanely precise. You'll only have enough juice to do it once. So it's 1 left stance hover, 2 right stance, another left stance, 3 right stance, and another left stance. And those stances with the feet, they change the height you get from the hovers, and also depending what stance you have to drop the chew at a different timing. So the left stance ones have to be delayed by a frame, while the right stance ones have to be dropped on 0th frame or 1st frame. So yeah, if you do any of them a frame early, or, you know, frame late on the right ones or the frame early on the left ones, you'll side up and Link will just not land on the ledge. He'll just go straight into the load zone and kiss your run goodbye. Which happened literally the day before. And I made a tweet saying how I was confident now that I had it in me to do it after that run. And I said, like, in the tweet, like, fuck this shit, we'll run it back tomorrow. And then I actually did. Which is the craziest call I ever made. Oh yeah, so something dumb happened here. I miscounted how many jump slash I did on tail. So when I thought I'd killed Ganon, it was actually 1 more jump slash. So now I have still like 4 seconds time save here. So it's 1, 2. And here I'm just kind of waiting, because... Oh wait, no, after this one... Oh yeah. I hesitated because I I wasn't sure, but
I honestly
thankfully
thought that was the final hit.
thankfully I didn't completely choke and have him
Whatever.
do tricks on me, because that can be really bad. Which is why I'm saving time here, because PV had him like spin around. But yeah, I was trying to go for a frame perfect jump slash, which is why I rolled there, but I missed it.
How's it going?
But yeah, we got
Oh
it.
my god, okay.
I didn't even realize that it was world record because I didn't have that in mind during Fire Temple. And then here's cringe moment that I can't watch. I'll show you the graph to show how consistent it was.
Oh my god. I haven't been able to process it yet. Honestly, I kind of zoned out and then I realized that I was about to do 1080. Oh my god, dude, my heart. I was so worried that I was gonna mess up.
But yeah, here are the time saves for this run to put in perspective how much better it can be. 52 seconds lost on Ocarina game. Half a minute on Twinrova, half a minute on Spirit. 20 seconds leave Sword Fountain, 18 on Bow. Lens minigame, which is RNG. The Tube Bowling stuff is Child 3 as well. Frog Song is Child 3 as well. And then it's like 12 seconds here, 7 here. Like there's like 4 splits with realistic time save. And it's just all at the end of the run.
I can't like say anything.
But yeah, up till that peak in the graph where
Look
just
how
before
shaky I am.
Spirit, it was on insane pace. Absolutely crazy.
Man, thank
Could
God.
definitely get a 43.
I can't believe we got here.
Question
yesterday.
is if we're gonna get
A minute
lucky
30
again
ahead,
with
and then
everything
ran
else
it
that
back.
needs to go right, other than me playing well.
Congrats.
I said in the tweet that we would just get over it, run it back tomorrow, and actually did. Dude, it's so unfortunate though, because it was like I lost like a minute to Child 3 shenanigans, even more. Like, it's crazy. I went from 3 minutes ahead to a minute
You
30.
deserve it, you fucking kin.
But you know what?
Congrats.
I can't do this category. I've been so
But yeah,
stressed.
it kind of sucks that I played so
months.
super well that all the time loss got bundled up in one place.
But we've been so close.
But at the same time, it's really nice to play against
Ever since I came back in
splits like
August,
that, because there's no reason for me to play it safe, because if I don't, like, you know, just send it, I'm gonna fall behind. And I think it's easier to keep a run going when you're plus 10 compared to minus 2 minutes, you know. I just have to be close to PB and then get
Sorry, I'll
all
skip
that
through
juicy
the
time
text.
save at the end.
I don't know what to say. I don't have a speech.
Yeah, that is the new world record, and it's also verified on speedrun.com. Funny thing, somehow live split is running slower than real time,
Collapsing in Child 3. And I
ever
was
so
panicking.
slightly. it's like gradually,
And I got
'cause
into
they
the headspace
retimed
where I was gonna
3
just,
different recordings of the
like,
gameplay,
mentally give
and
up.
it all came out to 345
I'm so glad I managed to get out of
26.006.
Oh my god.
So throughout 4 hours, life split was like half a second slower. So that's why on the speedrun page it says different. These places keep humbling at the end much. Yeah, I've had a lot of runs that should have PB'd but haven't. It's been a mental block, and I think after this PB,
Oh shit.
it might
There we go.
not be a thing anymore. We were doing a run today, and it was really good in forest, and I wasn't even like stressing. I'm gonna go through all the donors and whatnot. But yeah, I'm at least gonna run this for
Play
improving world
something
record
else,
till
as in
my run at ESA,
Randomizer. Or like
late July.
maybe try out those new cool ROM hacks.